Chapter 2209 Disaster of the Broken Realm. Chapter 2209 Disaster of the Broken Realm. This person was Dragon Race, Primordial Essence, Divine Emperor, but he didn't have dragon whiskers. Behind him was a man with red hair who was also Primordial Essence. However, his chi wasn't as perfected as Aolwan. Yi-Emo guessed that this was the new Primordial Essence, Divine Emperor of the Dragon Race. Ao Shinting, who brought Yi-Emo and them, overstood at the last position. Everyone got up to congratulate the new Primordial Essence, Divine Emperor. Yi-Emo got up too. At this moment, the red-haired man behind Aolwan saluted with his fists. "Thank you, immortal friends, for coming to the Dragon Race and celebrating Ao, she reaching Primordial Essence. Cheers to all of you." Then, the red-haired man drank the entire cup. The Divine Emperors there all raised their cup and drank it all. The wine was the #1 wine of the Dragon Race, Pandragon wine. It was extremely aromatic. Chiu rang this wine belly already drank an entire kettle. When everyone finished, Aolwan took Ao she to greet everyone seated. They didn't even leave behind some halfway Primordial Essence, Divine Emperor. Clearly he was well-mannered. When Aolwan walked up to Yi-Emo, he dazed. He didn't know Yi-Emo was sitting in such an obvious seat. He should at least be a Primordial Essence, powerful being. How was he only Tao Essence power? Yi-Emo's seat was arranged by that dragon girl as she considered Yi-Emo a Primordial Essence, Divine Emperor. Ao Shinting saw this and quickly said, "Dragon Divine Master, this is #1 pill Divine, pill Divine." Hearing this, Aolwan was overjoyed and quickly said hospitably, "So it's pill Divine here." Aolwan is so embarrassed. "I've long wanted to meet pill Divine, but I wasn't able to send the invitation to you personally. Please forgive me." As a Primordial Essence, Divine Emperor, he spoke to a Tao Essence, Divine Emperor like this. One must admit that Aolwan really knew how to act. If it was an ordinary Tao Essence pill Divine, he would be overwhelmed. But Yi-Emo had seen enough Primordial Essence, Divine Emperor, and he was on par with them. He got up and saluted with his fists. "Dragon Divine, you're too polite. I've long heard that the Dragon Race is prosperous. Now that I see it, it's indeed extremely prosperous. Congratulations on another Primordial Essence, Tao Vindication." Just when Aolwan wanted to speak, he suddenly saw Shadowless and asked in shock, "Pill Divine Yi, this is?" Yi-Emo said, "Casually, an immortal pet of mine. He later gained his own consciousness and thus became my friend." Aolwan raised a brow and glanced at Shadowless again, but he didn't keep asking. He laughed and kept greeting the other Divine Emperors. Then Aolwan said, "The ceremony is about to begin. Immortal friends, please come with me to the Dragon Palace." All the guests left the seats and headed to the Dragon Palace with Aolwan. Deshui Divine Emperor walked at the last and sent out a dashing light when no one saw. Deshui did it subtly, but everyone here knew that Deshui sent a message. No one would care about a Primordial Essence, Divine Emperor sending a message. Divine Tao Realm Ship Harbor. This had always been the harbor from the Divine Tao Realm to the Void or the Void Marketplace. The ships here were owned by a few powerful god sections. This was a monopoly. Anyone who wanted to go to the Void Marketplace had to go through the ship harbor. Before, the harbor didn't take god crystals for Divine Emperors who used this place to enter the Void. They only took god crystals for those who took their ship. A few hundred years ago, a Tao molding Divine Emperor used his own flying magic artifact and left to the Void. Since then, the rules changed. All those who left from the harbor had to pay god crystals. This rule changed again 20 years ago. 20 years ago, a ship much higher level than the highest level ship at the harbor stopped here. Most importantly, nearly 700 Divine Emperors and Immortal Emperors came off the ship. Most of them were Tao Molding Divine Emperor and Tao Nourishment Divine Emperor, but some were Tao Actualization Divine Emperor, and there were 8 Tao Essence Divine Emperor. This power was enough to wipe out the entire Divine Tao realm more than tens of times. These people immediately took over the harbor when they came. The manager of the harbor didn't dare to say anything facing this many divine emperors and Tao Essence divine emperors, much less amongst the 700 people here. The great Sun God Mountain Tao Essence Divine Emperor Kaifeng and Dong, and as well as immortal goddess sacred sect Tao Essence Divine Emperor Wang Nanshuang were included. The two sects already owned part of the harbor, but they were on the side of this new power. This new power not only took over the harbor and built a new sect in the Divine Tao realm called Divine Tao Sect. Before, the most powerful and famous sect in the Divine Tao realm was Great Sun God Mountain, but now, the new sect Divine Tao Sect was countless times stronger than Great Sun God Mountain. The Divine Tao Sect was established at the center of the Divine Tao realm. A few hundred divine emperors built a sect together. They've also brought countless materials from the void marketplace, even in a broken place like the Divine Tao realm. The Divine Tao Sect seemed extremely grandiose. When the immortals of the Divine Tao realm realized that the main goal of the Divine Tao Sect was to repair the Divine Tao realm and build a realm protection sect, they all supported this. Even the two Tao Essence Divine Emperor returning to Great Sun God Mountain and the Tao Essence Divine Emperor returning to Immortal Goddess Sacred Sect soon brought over large amounts of sect-building resources. Due to the establishment of the Divine Tao Sect, the Divine Tao realm went from dead and withered to a lively atmosphere. Other than Dong En, Wang Nanshuang, Luo Qinghe, and Qin Xuanji, who reached Tao Essence Divine Emperor in the void using the Qian Essence fruit. Another Tao actualization peak stage called Shangmu also reached Tao Essence. The current power of the Divine Tao Sect was no weaker than the top sects of other races. Plus, they had a Tao Essence Divine Emperor called Qiao He to help. But today, not just Divine Tao Sect, but the other sects of the Divine Tao realm all sent powerful beings to the ship harbor. Ever since the harbor was taken over by Divine Tao Sect, its scale and design was tens of times greater than before. But because the Divine Tao Sect was newly founded, not many ships stopped at the harbor, making it seem a bit empty. However, now, it wasn't empty, but was instead heavy and lethal. The entire void was under this pressure. More than 10 extremely large void ships spread across in a line outside the harbor. If it was Luo Qinghe and them stopping these ships, they would have dashed into the Divine Tao realm. The void ships had extremely powerful void law formation. If they charged into the realm, even the biggest mountains would be pulverized. The Divine Tao realm law was extremely chaotic and weak. Once these powerful void ships entered, it would tear the already weak and chaotic laws even more. The Aquarius race brought many divine emperors and many immortals. Clearly, they wanted to annihilate the Divine Tao realm human race. Luo Qinghe knew why they came. Yi Mo led them and slaughtered more than 100 divine emperors at the void marketplace. There was no way they wouldn't get revenge. Seeing a half-primordial essence leading the charge, Luo Qinghe knew things wouldn't be settled easily. He only hoped that when the battle begun, more human race could escape. The sect leader said before that if they couldn't win, preserving strength was the most important thing. Luo Qinghe is Yi Mo here? He killed that many divine emperors of the Aquarius race. Does he think he can escape by hiding here? An Aquarius race, Tao Essence, Divine Emperor Sneer. Di Luo Qinghe and Qin Xuanji knew this person. It was the Divine Emperor who lost half his body at the God rank square due to Yi Mo Yaopu. The half-primordial essence was just standing on the side, looking at them in contempt. To him, there was no one worth him attacking here. He led the charge, but he was also here to stop anyone from getting away. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2210 The Battle That Suddenly Stopped. Chapter 2210 The Battle That Suddenly Stopped. Yao Pu, even if you kill all of us, sect leader, you will pull Aquarius race from the roots. If you don't believe, then you just wait. Luo Qinghe knew there was no point in begging for mercy. Yao Pu laughed. The sect leader you're talking about is Yemo, right? There's probably not a single bone left of him. Does he still want to live after killing so many of our Aquarius race divine emperors? Then he yelled, Aquarius race people, human race, slaughtered more than 100 of our divine emperors. Today we shall get revenge. Charge together. Let them know that the blood of the Aquarius race will not be spilled in vain. Slaughter them all and leave nothing behind. Wait. Qiao! He suddenly stood out. Yao Pu had long seen Qiao He. He said before Qiao he could speak, Qiao He, I know you're from the Guangyuan Palace, and I know you have a primordial essence, Divine Emperor. But I'm going to tell you, this is the conflict between the human and Aquarius race. If your Guangyuan Palace is going to intervene, the Aquarius race is not scared of you. Qiao, he was lost for words. He was confident he could talk Yao Pu down because Yao Pu was only a Tao Essence Divine Emperor and couldn't make the decision. But now that Yao Pu said this, meaning that this was consented by the Aquarius race Primordial Essence Divine Emperor. Looking at the other half Primordial Essence of the Aquarius race, Qiao, he knew that he was of not much use now. Kill! Yao Pu roared and charged towards Luo Qinghe. The rest of the Aquarius race immediately charged up. There were quite some human race, but their overall power was far weaker than the Aquarius race. In just a short contact, countless died and injured from the human race. Luo Qinghe saw Wang Nanshuang, whom he had a good impression of, lose an arm to an Aquarius race Tao Essence tertiary stage. His eyes glared in fury. His blue sword turned into sword veils that covered the void before him. The ordinary Aquarius race divine emperors inside were torn to bloody mist. All sorts of magic artifact rays were activated. They all had killing intent. In just a short while, the entire battlefield emanated with lethal qi. Those weaker ones would soon be swept in by the lethal qi and killed. Because the space lethal force was more and more intense. The two sides were affected by this. They went more crazy and destructive. As the killing intent grew crazy and the two sides were going to completely fall into carnage, a beam of light suddenly landed in the hand of that half-primordial essence. This divine emperor's face changed immediately, and he said, Everyone stop, Aquarius race retreat. Get on the ship. The Aquarius race heard this and immediately retreated. Luo Qinghe and Qin Xuanji were covered in blood. They didn't know why the Aquarius race suddenly retreated after gaining such a huge advantage, but they were shocked at how obedient the Aquarius race was. From this, one could see that even if the human race and Aquarius were equal in power, it was more likely that the human race would lose. Master Hong Divine, we had the absolute advantage. If we kept charging, they would cripple, and then we can annihilate them. Why did we stop? Yao Pu said with extreme dissatisfaction. This half-primordial essence frowned. He really didn't like someone who was weaker than him talking to him like this. However, Yao Pu was taken much more seriously than him in the Aquarius race. So, this half-primordial essence Divine Emperor explained, Desui Divine Emperor sent a message telling us not to attack the human race yet and return to the Aquarius race first. Why? Yao Pu asked in confusion. His tone was serious. He really didn't understand why things were like this. The human race slaughtered more than 100 divine emperors of their Aquarius race in the void marketplace. 4 of them were Tao Essence Divine Emperor. They came here so arduously and just killed a few hundred. When the half-primordial essence was reproached again, his face sunk and he said uncomfortably, Since Desui Divine Emperor sent the message, you can go reproach him. Then this half-primordial essence ignored Yao Pu and said to the other Tao Essence Divine Emperors, Pack up the ship and retreat immediately. Yaopu was annoyed, but he didn't dare to rebuke Des Hui Divine Emperor. Seeing the Aquarius ships leave, Luo Qinghe and them looked at each other. They really didn't understand what was going on. They came so ferociously, but left so quickly. What are they doing? Qin Xuanji frowned and asked. Luo Qinghe shook his head and said, let's not care why they left. We should save the injured here first. Our realm protection formation needs to be rebuilt as well. Qin Xuanji glanced at Luo Qinghe and said, Set realm protection MF? Do you think you know primordial essence formation Grandmaster? Luo Qinghe felt his nose awkwardly. Even though the divine Dao realm was a broken realm, a primordial essence divine emperor was needed to set up realm protection formation. Qiao, he said, guiltily, 3 sect leaders. Pill Divine, you left me here wanting me to help, but I wasn't able to help with anything. Luo Qinghe quickly said, Immortal friend Qiao already helped a lot. The Aquarius race, suddenly, left might be due to concerns of Guangyuan Palace. Don't think too much. I believe sect leader will definitely go to the Guangyuan Palace. Qiao, he didn't threaten away the Aquarius, but during battle he didn't back out at all. Yi Mo and them went with Ao Luan into the Dragon Palace. To be honest, this was Yi Mo's first time seeing such an luxurious palace. He had been to top-level auctions and sects, as well as many palaces. Before seeing the Dragon Palace, Yi Mo thought some palaces were quite nice, but after seeing the Dragon Palace, it was like comparing a straw hut to a golden palace. In the extremely spacious Dragon Palace, rows of guest seats were prepared. Tens of thousands of Dragon Race members were standing on the 2 rows of the Dragon Palace. The weakest members here were immortal emperors. One could see how powerful the Dragon Race was. Plus, this was only a small part of the Dragon Race's power. Thousands of pretty Dragon Race goddesses wore immortal robes and stood on the 2 sides of the guest seats. Aolwan looked happily around the Dragon Race members before saying to the guests, Immortal friends, please have a seat and use our Dragon Race immortal fruit and pan-dragon wine. When Yi Mo and them sat down, there were Dragon Race goddess coming to serve them immediately. Today is the ceremony for our Dragon Race divine Emperor Ao Xian reaching primordial essence. The immortal friends coming to our Dragon Race to celebrate brings great honor to the Dragon Race. The Dragon Race is also keen on using this opportunity to form eternal alliance with all the races. Aolwan raised his wine cup and drank it all. At this moment, one person amongst the guests got all. This was an extremely handsome-looking young man. His hair reached his shoulders, and he seemed very confident. It was as though the entire world was in his control. This man also raised his cup and said, Today we're all here to congratulate Ao Shi Divine Emperor reaching primordial essence. Because there are a lot of guests, I, Zhuge Jichin, will take lead and represent all the guests to congratulate Ao Shi Divine Emperor reaching primordial essence. Hearing this, all the guests got up and drank the entire cup. Zhuge Jichin was also a primordial essence, divine emperor. Yi Mo hadn't heard of this guy, but he could guess this person was from the beast race. When everyone sat down, Zhuge Jichin took out a jade box and gave it to a Dragon Race goddess next to him, just a measly gift. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2211 Compete in Gifts. Chapter 2211 Compete in Gifts. As soon as the jade box opened, there was this scorching feeling. There was actually a purple flame in the jade box. Yi Mo had seen this flame before in the cultivation realm. It was one purple flame. It was ranked second in the rare flame ranking in the cultivation realm. Even in the entire 108 flame ranking, one purple flame was ranked 11th. This wasn't the most precious thing about this flame. It was that this flame had reached God Flame. Yi Mo thought This Zhuge was really generous. He was willing to give such a god flame. Yi Mo was a flame expert. He soon saw what was different about this flame. It had reached god flame, but seemed to have lost some its spirit. Soon he realized that something happened when this flame went through nirvana. Although it reached god flame, it would stop there. It couldn't continue to reach divine flame nor have a fire spirit. But even so, this one purple flame was extremely precious, many times more precious than extreme, grade god artifact. She was extremely surprised and happy to get such a flame. Of course, he could see what was wrong with this flame, but even so, this present was extremely precious. Immortal friend Zhuge is too nice. Your present is so precious. She got up and saluted with his fists. Zhuge Jichin returned the gesture, pity that a small problem occurred when this purple flame went through nirvana. Of course, immortal friend she wouldn't care about this flame. I was planning to give it to Princess Man. A pale green-robed young girl sitting next to she heard this and immediately robbed the jade box from she. Thank you, brother Zhuge. How do you know I like this purple flame? I was planning to ask for it for my dad. She's face sunk a little as he said, Man, immortal friend Zhuge is an equal of mine. You should call him Divine Emperor. Don't be so rude. Zhuge Jichin quickly smiled and said, It's fine. I like Princess Man calling me brother. It feels close. Yi Mo applauded. This man was young and pretty. It was as though she came out from a painting. Zhuge Jichin looked at man with love. It was clear why he gave such present. With Zhuge Jichin taking the lead, the rest of the people gave their presents too. Demon Race Primordial Essence Divine Emperor Pu Yangxi gave out an extreme, grade, Flying God artifact. Des Hui Divine Emperor gave out a drop of 100 million year sea sponge. This was level 13 immortal material for setting up formation. It can help with God art learning and can also be used to make the best God artifact. The young girl from the Phoenix race, called Tang, Psongyin gave out a Nirvana nest. This was more precious than the sea sponge. There were too many uses for it. Other than body refinement Nirvana, it could even be used for Yi Mo's spirit, 9 transformations. Most importantly, it can help those below Tao essence to build their body perfectly. The next was Abyssal Race Primordial Essence Divine Emperor, Jiao, Dan, and them. They all gave precious things. Yi Mo knew that this was all because of Zhuge Jichin. He gave out the God Flame. If other people gave things significantly below that value, it would be losing face. This person was sucking up to the dragon race everywhere. If it wasn't that he really loved Man, then it was that he wanted to get something from the dragon race. However, he did this at the cost of making the other primordial essence divine emperors a little annoyed. Soon it was Yi Mo's turn. Yi Mo took out a jade bottle and said, I don't have anything good. I rely on pill concoction to feed myself, so Iluli give a bottle of pills. Seeing this, everyone stared at the jade bottle in curiosity, all wanting to know what pill this was. However, Yi Mo didn't say what pill it was. People couldn't really use spirit sense to check it. Dad, other people's gifts were opened. You should have a look what this pill is. What if he just gave an ordinary pill? Man quickly said. She knew that if her dad put away the pills, she would have to wait till the end of the ceremony before knowing what pill it was. She immediately reproached Man and saluted with his fists to Yi Mo in apology. Pill divine, you, my daughter is too spoiled and is being rude. Yi Mo smiled. No matter, I'm at least a Tao essence pill divine. I'm not going to give a bottle of immortal pills. Wan smiled. Pill divine Yi is the #1 pill divine of multiple realms. Man, air is rude. Please don't mind pill divine Yi. Man saw this and realized she was being rude. She quickly got up and bowed to Yi Mo. Brother, can I have a look at your pills? Yi Mo immediately said, Of course, but no need to call me big brother. I'm a pill divine. Just call me pill divine Yi. She wanted to know what pill Yi Mo gave to. After all, Yi Mo was extremely famous. purple heaven pill. Extreme grade purple heaven pill. Ao, she said in shock. 12 extreme grade purple heaven pills was no small gift. This was a tactic cultivation resource. It could allow Tao nourishment divine emperor reach Tao actualization. Rarely could people concoct extreme grade purple heaven pills. Even if they did, it would just be 1 or 2. Yemo pretty much gave 12 chances to reach Tao actualization to the dragon race. Even if all of them couldn't reach Tao actualization, there would be at least a third. This wasn't the most important meaning of this bottle of pills. It was that if Yemo had Tao fruits, he could concoct extreme grade purple heaven pills nonstop. If a race had all these pills, there was no way they wouldn't rise up. Seeing this, Aolwan and Ao, she looked at Yemo with keen eyes. Even the primordial essence divine emperor of other races looked at Yemo with keen eyes. Of course, the two divine emperor who had conflict with Yemo looked at Yemo with annoyance and killing intent. Ao, she ignored his daughter who wanted pill and got up saying to Yemo, "Thank you for your gift, pill divine. Pill divine Yi is a Tao essence, pill divine. The dragon race has a lot of God spirit herbs. Pill divine, you can go choose some." A few more primordial essence divine emperors gave presents, and then it was the half primordial essence's turn. After the gifts, it was the dance show by the dragon race, and then immortal fruit and wine. After the ceremony, both the guests and host were happy. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2212 Yemo's Dominance. Chapter 2212 Yemo's Dominance. When he felt it was about time, Aolwan stood up and said, "Ao, she's primordial essence ceremony will conclude here. Thank you, immortal friends, for coming to this ceremony. There's also something related to a few races that we need to discuss with some primordial essence divine emperors. Please come with me to the business palace. Of course, those immortal friends who want to trade treasures, please wait for a while. This shouldn't take long." Yemo heard it was related to a few races and immediately got up. Although he didn't get invited, he represents the human race here. Plus, he had never denied that he was primordial essence divine emperor. Of course, he was going to this primordial essence divine emperor meeting. Deshui knew Yemo wasn't invited. Seeing Yemo get up, he asked in confusion, "Pill divine, this is a meeting between races. What are you, a pill divine, going for?" Then, when Deshui was waiting for Pu Yongxi to say something as well. However, before Pu Yongxi could speak, Yemo said coldly, "Are you blind? Do you not see that I'm a human race representative?" Hearing Yemo so rude, Aolwan and Ao, she were dazed. No matter how powerful Yemo was at pill concoction, he was only a Tao essence divine emperor. How did he dare to talk to a primordial essence divine emperor like this? Under this circumstance, even if when Deshui wanted to kill Yemo, Aolwan had no reason to protect Yemo. However, thinking about how Yemo was a top Tao essence pill divine, Aolwan felt pity. If other primordial essence divine emperors didn't know about Yemo, then he would save Yemo at all costs, but now that they did. Even if he saved Yemo, Yemo wouldn't just be concocting pills for the dragon race. Thinking about this, Aolwan felt that he only needed to speak up for Yemo a little, but try not to offend when Deshui. However, Aolwan and Ao, she soon dazed. When Deshui didn't rage, and instead pointed at Yemo's face yelling, "Yemo, you're a Tao essence pill divine, and yet you speak so rudely. You embarrass the word pill divine." Aolwan and Ao, she didn't see Yemo's subtle battle with Wen Deshui, so they were so shocked at Wen Deshui's response. Yemo sneered, "Wen Deshui, I know you sent a message out before, but I warn you, If the Aquarius race dares to attack the divine Tao realm, I swear I will to the Aquarius realm into a shield. If you don't believe me, Wiluli see. When Des Hui was indeed a little concerned with Yi Mo, he was at most on par with Jiao Dan. Now that even Jiao Dan and Len Shuachi treated Yi Mo with respect, he decided to be careful. But no matter how concerned he was furious after being threatened like this. He was about to attack again. Aolan realized that things weren't as he thought, so he said, Des Hui, immortal friend, and Pill Divine, the Dragon Palace cannot afford such activity. When Des Hui knew he couldn't fight here, and thus he cursed, Yi Mo, don't think that the Aquarius race is scared of you. The Aquarius race is scared of no one. You don't have the power to do what you want at the Aquarius race. Tang Tsongyin seemed to be interested in Yi Mo and laughed. Since Pill Divine Yi says he's representing the human race, why not come over as well? That handsome-looking primordial essence divine Emperor Zhuge Jichin suddenly said, Immortal friend Tang, this is inappropriate. I don't object, Pill Divine Yi, representing the human race. Aolan Divine Emperor says this is related to a few races, but in fact only we're involved. Now that there's suddenly someone extra, isn't it a bit unfair? Aolan looked at everyone with difficulty. Should he agree or not? If he didn't agree, he would offend Yi Mo. If he agreed, he would offend the rest of the people. If Yi Mo was nothing, he wouldn't care, but now Yi Mo was not only a Tao essence Pill Divine, but also someone when Des Hui was concerned with. It was best not to offend Yi Mo+. He recognized the mutated shadowless bug, but couldn't ask about it yet. Thinking about this, Aolan could only say, other than Ao, she, and I here, there are 6 primordial essence friends. Everyone say what they think. I disagree. When Des Hui said without hesitation, Zhuge Jichin smiled. I admired Pill Divine Yi, but I don't think this matter has anything to do with Pill Divine Yi. Pu Yangxi also said this thing has nothing to do with Pill Divine Yi. There were 3 out of 6 who disagreed to Yi Mo coming. There wasn't much Yi Mo could do. Aolan knew Yi Mo probably couldn't go, but in order to respect Yi Mo, he still looked at the remaining 3 divine emperors. Tang Tsongyin said, it's very good for Pill Divine Yi to go. He's the number 1 Pill Divine. It would only benefit us. Len Shuachi said calmly, I agree to Pill Divine Yi going. Aolan looked at Jiao Dan and asked, Immortal friend Jiao, what's your opinion? Jiao Dan sneered, for rude guys, Yi Mo quickly interrupted, Immortal friend Jiao is right, for rude guys, By the way, last time I accidentally broke your house. I promise that won't happen again. If you have time, I would invite you to come to my divine Tao sect to drink wine and compensate. Jiao Dan wasn't scared of Yi Mo, but he felt threatened by Yi Mo. Each time he saw Yi Mo again, he could feel Yi Mo was different. The first time he saw Yi Mo was a little worm, something he could kill at any time. The second time he saw Yi Mo became Tao Essence tertiary stage and almost heavily injured him. This was the third time he saw Yi Mo, and Yi Mo was at Tao Essence peak stage now. If it wasn't that Yi Mo hid his power, Pill Divine Yi was too strange. If he could avoid offending Yi Mo, he would. He offended Yi Mo before and was called fried egg in front of everyone. Now, Yi Mo was hinting that he wouldn't call him fried egg again. This made him interested. If he was called fried egg in front of more people, what face would he have left? Jiao Dan knew that if he didn't let Yi Mo go, Yi Mo would definitely call him fried egg here. Cough. Jiao Dan said, I think immortal friends Len and Tang are right. It's fine to let Pill Divine Yi go. When Des Hui was so annoyed, he didn't know what the relationship between Yi Mo and Jiao Dan was. Yi Mo called him fried egg, and this guy still let Yi Mo go. Zhuge Jichin could tell that Jiao Dan was a little concerned with Yi Mo. He felt strange too. He still said, it's 3 against 3. Wilu Li. Yi Mo interrupted Zhuge Jichin, immortal friend Zhuge. Do you mean to say that my opinion doesn't count? Do you have to act against the human race? Seeing this, Ao Wan quickly changed the subject. Okay, Willu Li just go together as 8. Ao, she won't need to go. Since immortal friend Ao said this, I have no objections of course, but I want to know how long would this take? A lot of immortal friends came this time. One is to congratulate the emergence of another primordial essence, but another reason is to exchange some things. Should we exchange things first before discussing this? Zhuge Zhichen said. People could tell that Zhuge Zhichen didn't want Emo to be involved in this, and thus he kept trying to find ways to delay things. Perhaps he would find another excuse to delay things after the exchange. However, Zhuge Zhichen was a beast race primordial essence. Ao Wan couldn't ignore him. Immortal friend Zhuge's proposal is great. Then Ao Wan turned to the guests again. Guests, please move to the guest hall, where we shall commence trading. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 22:13 Second Clash. Chapter 22:13 Second Clash. When Yi Mo took Shadowless and Qiu Rang to sit down, the guest hall was already filled with people. Heaven Pan dragon fruits were brought up in many plates. Whether or not Yi Mo was a primordial essence divine emperor, no one dared to underestimate Yi Mo anymore. Ao Wan waited till the guests have sit down before saying, I will start this Dao exchange social. I have a bow and arrow here for sale. Everyone make a bid. I will trade whatever I'm happy with. Then Ao Wan took out a long jade box and opened it up. Golden arrow of divine extermination. Almost everyone recognized this arrow. Yi Mo's heart went up in excitement. He had collected 7 golden arrow of divine extermination and thought that was the max he could find. Yet today he saw the 8th golden arrow of divine extermination. It wasn't much to other people, but it was a necessity to him. No one had the golden bow of divine extermination, so it wouldn't be much useful to getting the arrow. However, the price wouldn't be cheap. Seeing everyone recognize this, Ao Wan laughed. Before, I went to the Void Marketplace to an auction and bought this arrow, but after all these years, I didn't find any bow nor arrow, so I've given up. If there are immortal friends who have similar interests as me, you can get it. Yi Mo wanted it so much, but he resisted. The more desperate he was, the more it meant that he had the bow. When Des Hui and Zhuge Zhichen wouldn't let him get the golden arrow of divine extermination so easily, Yi Mo didn't care if he exposed that he had the bow as he had the power. I'll pay 3 billion god crystals. A half primordial essence said. This was a very high price for the arrow if one couldn't find the bow. This half primordial essence wanted to get Ao Wan's good impression, so he paid some more. Yi Mo decided to not bid yet. He didn't have god crystals, and if he bid, it might rise the price higher. He had remembered this half primordial essence. He would find this person after the social. When Des Hui suddenly said, I'll pay 5 billion god crystals, everyone looked at Wen Des Hui. Wen Des Hui didn't need to suck up to Ao Wan. He paid such a high price, probably, because he had the golden bow. Yi Mo was very confused. The bow was on him. In that case, why was Wen Des Hui paying such a high price? Since when Des Hui bid, he would have to. If this arrow fell into the hands of that half primordial essence, he would be able to get it back, but if it fell into the hands of Wen Des Hui, it wouldn't be so easy. Shadowless knew what boss meant, and he looked at Qiu Rang, saying, Qiu Rang, you know why that tree wants the golden arrow of divine extermination? Qiu Rang shook his head. I don't know. Because he has the golden bow of divine extermination, so he wants the arrow. I really don't like this tree. Should we disturb his business? Shadowless smiled. Qiu Rang knew what Shadowless meant. The bow was in boss's hands. Chiu Rang immediately nodded. Great idea, make a bid, it's just a tree. Hearing Shadowless and Chiu Rang call him a tree, when Dishue's face was green. The blue color disappeared from his face. His hair really did make him look like a palm tree. Zhuge Jichin said calmly, Pill Divine, your immortal pet is too rude. How dare they talk to a divine emperor like this? Yi Mo was long annoyed with this Zhuge Jichin. Now that Shadowless gave him an opportunity, and this guy was still talking shit. Yi Mo immediately yelled, Shadowless, don't talk like this again, okay? A palm tree is a palm tree. Don't say a tree. That's blasphemy. Boss, I understand. Next time I'll palm tree. Shadowless laughed. Zhuge Jichin was scorned like this, but he only smiled and said nothing. When Des Hui couldn't resist it and suddenly got up and waved a water ripple at Yi Mo. As a primordial essence divine emperor, he could turn everything here into dust, but he can also control his attack to be in one line. This water ripple sliced across space towards Yi Mo. This fierce to an extreme killing intent didn't affect anything around them. Spaceless water slice. People immediately recognized when Dishue's signature god art. It was an extreme use of space law that could ignore space. All space that had water would be bound by this slice. Weaker people wouldn't even be able to move. Even strong people who didn't know space law well would be hurt. Other than a few extreme dimensions, most dimensions had water in space, much less a planet like this. Aol Wan sighed. He didn't intervene this time. It was Yi Mo challenging Wen Des Hui. If Wen Des Hui still didn't attack under such situation, it was impossible. Yi Mo didn't even got up and waved out a god rune as well as a spirit sense god art. He didn't attack with full power. If he did, he could release 2 god runes and another spirit sense god rune. There was no point attacking with full power here. Wen Des Hui couldn't kill him, and he couldn't kill Wen Des Hui. Great primordial god rune. People were even more shocked. The great primordial god rune also ignored space and came before Wen Des Hui. Great primordial god rune was a ferocious great god art, and from the looks of it, Yi Mo's great primordial god rune was no longer small mastery. What shocked people even more was that Yi Mo only used realm domain and spirit sense domain to block Wen Dishue's slice. He didn't destroy it. Just when people didn't understand why Yi Mo did this, Shadowless suddenly reached out and devoured this spaceless water slice. Everyone took in a cold breath. What god beast was this? Devour Law God Beast? How powerful was this? No wonder, Pill Divine, you didn't consider this primordial essence, Divine Emperor, a threat at all. Aol Wan's eyes were spasming. He recognized Shadowless was a mutated Shadowless bug, but didn't expect Shadowless to be this powerful to have reached God Tao. Even in the history of Shadowless bugs, there was not a single God Tao. But soon, people's eyes were caught by Yi Mo's great primordial god rune again. Of course, when Des Hui recognized great primordial god rune, he quickly palmed out as water ripple mirrors appeared before him. The great primordial god rune crushed all these water ripple mirrors, but more and more mirrors stacked before Wen Des Hui. Everyone saw the great primordial god rune weaken and knew that when Des Hui blocked this great primordial god rune at least. But everyone knew this was a small location. If they fought in the void, would Yi Mo just throw out a great primordial god rune and not do anything else? Clearly, Wen Des Hui had the lower hand. Crack! When Yi Mo's great primordial god rune dissipated, everyone thought this clash was over, but they saw Wen Dishue's face change. His blue face went a little red. It was just for a brief moment, but everyone saw this. When Des Hui was injured a little, everyone looked at Yi Mo with different light. This was no doubt essence Divine Emperor. This was clearly a primordial essence Divine Emperor. Jiao Dan saw Wen Dishue's face go red and immediately knew that Wen Des Hui was ambushed. He showed a happy smile. But then, Jiao Dan felt more concerned with Yi Mo. Yi Mo was nearly twice as strong as when he fought him last time. This human divine emperor was insane, and with his insane god beast, it was best not to mess with him. When Deshui calmed himself and sat down, he was certain he was no match for Yemo. This Yemo was too terrifying. He felt lucky Yemo didn't kill all the Aquarius race at the God Rank Square. With how powerful Yemo was, even if Yemo did that, there was nothing he could do. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2214 As Wished. Chapter 2214 As Wished. I'll pay 6 billion God crystals for the golden arrow of divine extermination. Yemo said. To others, Yemo clearly bid to annoy Wen Deshui and rob the golden arrow of divine extermination. He didn't have 6 billion God crystals, but if the deal was made, he would borrow from Jiao Dan. If Jiao Dan wouldn't do that, he would exchange with pills. Aowan finally calmed his mood now. Shadowless gave him a huge shock, but Yemo gave him more shock. Yemo was no doubt Essence Divine Emperor. He was clearly an extremely terrifying Primordial Essence Divine Emperor. How could a Primordial Essence Divine Emperor with great Primordial God rune be simple? He definitely wouldn't believe that Yemo was a Tao Essence Divine Emperor who could take on a Primordial Essence Divine Emperor. No one would believe this. Zhuge Jichin knew Yemo was not bad, but he didn't really take Yemo seriously. However, Yemo's clash with Wen Deshui shocked him quite a bit. He knew that if he fought Yemo and there was that god beast, he might not win. He might even lose. The divine Tao realm was broken everywhere and had no resources. How could a Primordial Essence Divine Emperor come out of that place? Was the human race going to rise? Aolwan smiled. Since Pill Divine you bid 6 billion, of course, I'll bid 10 billion God crystals. When Deshui suddenly said, everyone knew that when Deshui was going to have a bid war with Yemo, Yemo said in that case, everyone thought Yemo was going to give up. Yemo suddenly smiled at when Deshui, I'll bid a cosmic Tao pill. It's extreme grade, by the way. What? When Yemo made this bid, everyone was dazed. Who would use cosmic Tao pill to buy 1 golden arrow of divine extermination? The cosmic Tao pill was something extremely hard to concoct, much less extreme grade. If this pill was given to a Tao actualization peak stage, he would spend his entire fortune to buy it. Even Tao Essence and Primordial Essence couldn't calmly face the cosmic Tao pill. Who didn't want such pill? The cosmic Tao pill could not only help Tao Actualization Divine Emperor learn Tao Wave Law to reach Tao Essence, but it can also help Tao Essence and Primordial Essence Divine Emperor learn Cosmic God Art. Only the best Tao Essence Pill Divine could concoct such pill. This wasn't just extravagance anymore, but thinking about how Yemo was a Tao Essence Pill Divine, everyone understood. Kong Han and Tian Rui knew Yemo had quite a few cosmic Tao pills. The Void Marketplace Merchant Tower's cosmic Tao pills must have come from Yemo. They earned a huge sum with that. When Deshui was lost for words. Was this necessary? How could he even bid now? Aolwan said before when Deshui could bid, okay, deal. What else would he want? Yemo was overjoyed when he got the 8th golden arrow of divine extermination. Everyone thought it wasn't worth for him, but only he knew it was too worth. This first deal caused quite some ruckus, but it was finally done. However, everyone thought Yemo was an impulsive guy. Zhuge Jichin stood out second. He took out a golden huge egg and said, this is a god beast egg of the flying flame ant. I'll trade with whatever I like. Yemo sighed. At this level there was nothing bad. The flying flame ant was a very rare god beast. It could reach Tao Essence at its peak. At that level it was no slower than extreme grade flying god artifact. Not only so, once the ant reached god level, It would have a ring of golden flame around it that was extremely pretty. If this was given to a girl, the girl would be overjoyed. Seeing this, Ao Man's eyes showed desire. She clearly wanted this egg, but she knew that even though she was the princess of the dragon race, she wouldn't be able to get this egg. This wasn't something that could be gotten with god crystals, albeit a golden light, abstruse fruit. The first to bid was Tang Tsongyin, the phoenix race, primordial essence, divine emperor. What Yemo didn't understand was that she was a phoenix. She was already very fast. Why did she need this egg? The image of a phoenix flying on an ant occurred in Yemo's mind. That scene was too ridiculous. Zhuge Zhichin shook his head. One golden light, abstruse fruit isn't enough. If it's two primordial essence, abstruse pill, I would be willing. The golden light abstruse fruit is a Tao fruit that could allow primordial essence divine emperor to recover god essence, but it wasn't very fast and could only be used once. If it was primordial essence abstruse pill made with the golden light abstruse fruit, it would be different. One pill could instantly let a primordial essence divine emperor recover 60% of his god essence. Tang Tsongyin said in disappointment, I'll add another 2 billion god crystals. That's not enough either. Zhuge Zhichin said. Yemo suddenly said, Immortal friend Tang, you've helped me quite a bit before. If you're willing, I can turn your golden light abstruse fruit into primordial essence abstruse pill immediately. It would take 5 minutes. Pill divine, you can help me concoct it? Tang Tsongyin asked in surprise and joy. If you're willing to believe me, of course. Yemo said. Tang Tsongyin desperately said, Of course, I believe you. She already sent the jade box to Yemo. Other people needed the pill, but so did she. With that pill, other primordial essence divine emperors would need to think twice before attacking her. Hearing this, all the divine emperors stopped dealing, and all looked at Yemo. After all, no one had seen a Tao essence pill divine concoct pills. Yemo knew what these people thought, and he smiled. I prefer a quiet environment for pill concoction, so I'm going to set up a restriction. He wasn't going to show his pill concoction to everyone. His flame was divine flame blue, like morning sky. This was more precious than primordial spirit artifact. His pill cauldron wasn't ordinary too. Shen known cauldron. Even now, Yemo didn't know what it was. There was no way he was going to show all these things to all these primordial essence divine emperors. Yemo set up a few restrictions and disappeared from the palace. The divine emperors just realized that the restrictions Yemo set up casually were top-level restrictions. Although no primordial essence divine emperor was weak at restrictions and formations. Yemo did this so easily, meaning that he was a master amongst master for formation. It was easy for primordial essence divine emperors to pierce Yemo's restriction with spirit sense, but if one did this, this was a death conflict. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2215 Abstruse Yellow Qi. Chapter 2215 Abstruse Yellow Qi Primordial Essence Abstruse Pill was extremely useful to primordial essence divine emperors, but it was no harder to concoct that cosmic Tao pill. Yemo could even concoct 12 extreme, grade, cosmic Tao pills. A cauldron of primordial essence abstruse pills were done in less than 5 minutes. Yemo took 3 pills and placed 9 into a jade bottle. It wasn't that Yemo wanted to steal it, but Yemo had a purpose for helping Tang Tsongyin. His cultivation level was too low before, and he only stayed at the Tao Fruit Tower Square for business for half a day before he had to leave. Now that his power was on par with primordial essence, it would attract huge numbers of divine emperors to come to him for pill concoction after he showed his skills. The people here were either half primordial essence or primordial essence. The weakest was Tao Essence Divine Emperor. One could imagine how much fortunes these people had. He said that his cauldron of concoction would have 9 pills. If it became 12 pills here, people would think he was taking a huge advantage and he would have less pills to collect. No one broke Yi Mo's restriction, but everyone was staring at it. A few divine emperors who wanted the egg stopped bidding. One was that Tang Tsongyin was Phoenix race, primordial essence, divine emperor. They had to pay her some respect. Secondly, they wanted to see if Pill Divine Yi was deserving of his title. Those people who got pills from Yi Mo dashed away as quickly as possible. No one would tell people they had extreme, grade, Tao, fruit god pills. Yi Mo's name got out, but the powerful beings weren't too sure. If Yi Mo could really concoct primordial essence abstruse pills, then it was good for everyone here. Yi Mo said 5 minutes, but no one really believed Yi Mo would be done in 5 minutes. Even if Yi Mo needed 15 minutes or more, no one would mind. But clearly, Yi Mo's pill concoction speed was far beyond their expectation. It was less than 5 minutes, and Yi Mo put away the pill concoction barrier. He took out a bottle of pills from the restriction. Tang Tsongyin looked anxiously at Yi Mo. She didn't know if Yi Mo succeeded or failed. Yi Mo smiled and gave the jade bottle to her immortal friend Tang. "It's not bad, have a look." Tang Tsongyin immediately opened the jade bottle and then called out in surprise and shock, 9 extreme grade primordial essence abstruse pill? Pill Divine Yi. You're not a Tao essence pill divine. You're a primordial essence pill divine? With this, everyone looked at Yi Mo in completely different light. Primordial essence pill divine. This was a legendary existence. In history, it's only said that one primordial essence pill divine came from the human race. Then there was no more. Yi Mo knew Yi Mo wants primordial essence pill divine yet, so he smiled. "I'm not primordial essence pill divine yet, but immortal friend Tang. You got your pills, you can do your deal." "That's right." Tang Tsongyin woke up from her excitement, and then she remembered Yi Mo's payment. "Pill divine, you helped me concoct a cauldron of primordial essence abstruse pills. I'll give half to you." Yi Mo waved his hand. "Immortal friend Tang, you've already helped me before. Don't give these few pills to me. I'm a Tao essence pill divine. I can get pills whenever I want." Tang Tsongyin looked at Yi Mo and smiled sweetly. "Since Pill Divine Yi says this, I won't be too polite. The Phoenix race welcomes Pill Divine Yi at any time. Pill Divine Yi, Tang Chi, whom you saw last time, is a natural seductive body. If you like her, I can help you out." Yi Mo quickly waved his hand. "Thank you for your goodwill, immortal friend Tang. I already have a Tao partner." Zhuge Jichin suddenly laughed. "Immortal friend Tang, instead of helping others, you might as well help yourself and Pill Divine Yi. I think you two are quite a good match." Yi Mo looked at Zhuge Jichin in some confusion. This guy's attitude towards him seemed to have changed. The young girl face of Tang Tsongyin showed a sliver of redness and embarrassment. "I'm willing, but Pill Divine, Yi doesn't want to. He said he already has a Tao partner." Then she looked deeply at Yi Mo. Yi Mo suddenly felt goosebumps. Who knows how old this Tang Tsongyin was, and she acted shy like a young girl. Yi Mo didn't want to offend Tang Tsongyin and quickly said, "Immortal friend Tang, you should hurry and deal with immortal friend Zhuge." Tang Tsongyin rolled her eyes at Yi Mo and then said to Zhuge Jichin, "Little Zhuge, I've already gotten the primordial essence, abstruse pill. Give me the egg." Then Tang Tsongyin threw out 2 pills to Zhuge Jichin. He didn't hesitate and threw the egg to Tang Tsongyin. Then Zhuge Jichin said to Yi Mo, "Pill Divine Yi, I didn't expect your pill concoction skills were at this level. I take back what I said before. I believe immortal friends Tang and Len were right. As a top pill divine, it's good for your to come. The beast race has a lot of spirit items. Pill Divine, you must come to our race when you're free." Zhuge Jichin clearly wanted to suck up to Yi Mo. He was against EMO going the most, but now he was the most eager one. However, people knew that there weren't much conflict between the two. EMO didn't act up towards Juga Jichin's sign of goodwill. The human race was split apart. An ally now was better than an enemy. He saluted with his fists and said, "Thank you, immortal friend Juga. I will go to the beast race when I'm free." Tang, so mean, sneered in contempt. She felt Juga Jichin was too materialistic. As soon as EMO showed some power, Juga Jichin came to suck up to EMO. What was he doing before? Jiao, Dan coughed. "Pill Divine, you were friends too. I've also agreed to EMO going to that place. See, you helped a mortal friend Tang concoct pills. I might not be as pretty as her, but EMO knew what this monk was going to say and said Brother Jiao is right. Plus, I feel that Brother Jiao might not be less prettier than immortal friend Tang. After the deal is done and Brother Jiao wants pill concoction, it's just a matter of a word." Then EMO added, "Of course, if Brother Len needs pill concoction, I'm happy to help." The human race was alone. EMO wasn't going to let go of the opportunity of getting some allies. There was no major conflict between him and the Abyssal, Phoenix, and Beast race. Len Shuachi showed a genuine smile this time, then "Thank you, Pill Divine." Seeing EMO connect with everyone, Demon race Puyangxi was immediately annoyed. EMO was someone he must kill. EMO killed his demon race divine emperor. How could he let EMO go? According to his investigation, EMO killed another demon Dao essence, Mo Fu. Dao essence was precious to any race, and yet EMO killed two. So what if EMO had great god art, great primordial god rune? He wasn't an idiot like Wen Des Hui. He could join up with Wen Des Hui to attack EMO, seeing EMO still want to keep talking to Ao Luan. Puyangxi immediately said loudly, "Since the 2 rounds of deals before were exciting, I won't disappoint everyone too." Everyone's attention was caught by Puyangxi. Puyangxi raised a black gourd and said, "What I want to trade is inside this gourd. What's inside is some abstruse yellow chi that was formed at the beginning of the universe. I also want whatever I like." Before Puyangxi finished, he was interrupted by all sorts of noises. There were 2 types of abstruse yellow chi. One was the chi formed with the creation of the world. This chi filled the world, but it was hard to find complete one. Another type was the chi formed by the abstruse yellow bead. Abstruse yellow bead was the best primordial spirit artifact. It was on par with chaos divine treasure. Both types of chi could cleanse a mortal's wisdom and a mortal root. It would help correct their cultivation method. The person who got the abstruse yellow bead can cultivate inside it. His speed would be many times that of other people and would be invincible amongst peers. The natural abstruse yellow chi is more precious as it can be used to learn chaos Tao and reach primordial essence. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2216, Huge Seeker. Chapter 2216, Huge Seeker Abstruse Yellow Chi was extremely precious, but EMO didn't have to have it. He had more Chaos Chi. Chaos Chi was just like abstruse yellow Chi. They both came after the birth of the universe. Abstruse yellow Chi was more valuable than Chaos Chi in that it could cleanse one's spirit and immortal root, as well as make the body stronger. Now, EMO had reached divine body. His bitter bamboo and chaos tree had the same spirit cleansing and immortal root cleansing abilities. Comparatively, the Chaos Chi was more valuable in learning Chaos Tao as well as condensing God Art Law. Therefore, the Chaos Chi was more useful to him. The reason he used that many Chaos Chi to reach Tao actualization peak stage was because his cultivation method was too powerful and he had the Chaos Tree. If it was some other person who had a gourd full of chaos chi like this one, he could even use it to vindicate primordial essence divine emperor. Even if Yi Mo wanted this gourd of abstruse yellow chi, he didn't have the power to contend. Yi Mo didn't contend for it, but other people did. Soon, all sorts of Tao fruit, extreme grade god artifact, top god spirit item, and even truth spirit world came out. Yi Mo saw a half primordial essence, bit a markless glass light. Pu Yangxi didn't agree, but Yi Mo was interested. This was a top void immortal material. It was level 13. This material was extremely rare and hard to capture. It was a bit like void flying snow, but countless times rarer and more valuable. This material was the best material for making flying magic artifact. This half primordial essence had a lot of this material. It would be more than enough for one flying god artifact. Yi Mo was interested, but he didn't intervene at this time. After Pu Yangxi's turn, it was his turn. After a round of bidding, this abstruse yellow chi was eventually taken by Aolwan using 3 extreme grade god spirit range, 2 heavenly fruit, and 1 bottle of dragon chi. The most precious thing Aolwan took out was the dragon chi, and it was due to that the Pu Yangxi agreed. Seeing the abstruse yellow chi getting taken away, many people felt pity. They knew that since Pu Yangxi could take out 1 bottle, he definitely had a second one, but no one dared to make him take out a second one. After the deal, Yi Mo also interrupted the happy Pu Yangxi and took out a small jade bottle. I also have a bottle, but it's not abstruse yellow chi, it's chaos chi. Before Yi Mo finished, there was a huge rustling. This social exchange gathering was too worth it to come. Not only was there abstruse yellow chi, but also chaos chi. These were all things needed for vindicating primordial essence. Seeing people start bidding before he finished speaking, Yi Mo was a little helpless. He underestimated how much the chaos chi was desired. Tang Tsongyin laughed. No wonder, immortal friend, you wasn't interested in the abstruse yellow chi. You have something equal to it. Yi Mo guessed that half primordial essence would definitely take out the markless glass light. If this person took it out, he would trade immediately. If this guy didn't take it out, he would ask for it. As soon as Yi Mo thought of this, the half primordial essence took it out again. I'll use markless glass light and 5 billion god crystals. He was more desperate than Yi Mo to use chaos chi to vindicate primordial essence. He added 5 billion god crystals this time, just so he wouldn't fail again. Okay, I'll trade with you. Yi Mo sent the bottle to the half primordial essence. Seeing this, the half primordial essence took it joyfully and gave the markless glass light out without hesitation. Wait, a voice suddenly said, and was going to grab the markless glass light and storage ring. Yi Mo had been staring at this for half a day. How could he let someone intervene? Plus, he paid for this. He sensed this the moment the person attacked and swept his hand too. 2 god essences exploded in the air. Yi Mo opened his spirit sense domain and protected the material and the storage ring, bringing it to him. Before the explosion could fully spread, it was annihilated by a few other primordial essence divine emperors. Yi Mo then stared coldly at the half primordial essence and said, "Do you want to break the rules of trade at the Dragon Palace?" At the same time, Yi Mo was thinking why a half primordial essence had the guts to rob his things halfway. Yi Mo's spirit sense scanned this half primordial essence without hesitation. Yi Mo's spirit, while 9 transformations, had reached 7th transformation, Void. The half primordial essence's stealth realm domain was immediately smashed open. At the same time, Yi Mo realized this guy was actually a primordial essence, divine emperor. When Aolwan, who was going to rage, discovered that this person was a primordial essence divine emperor too, there was confusion and shock in his eyes. His tone changed. This is probably winged race song Luo, divine emperor, right? Congratulations on reaching primordial essence. You didn't invite us old people to your primordial essence ceremony. That's not nice. Song Luo clearly didn't expect someone could use the best spirit sense God are to break open his realm domain, exposing his cultivation level to everyone. Yi Mo's spirit sense God art was too shocking. It was as though he had been washed in the endless void. He quickly saluted with his fists. Tsang Luo was impulsive just then. Please forgive me, old one. I've just reached primordial essence and hadn't had time to stabilize my power, so I didn't dare to startle immortal friends. I was planning to invite everyone after some time, but I exposed it today. Haha. Congratulations on reaching primordial essence. When immortal friend Tsang Luo holds the ceremony, Pu Yangxi will definitely come disturb you. Pu Yangxi immediately showed goodwill to Tsang Luo, seeing that he had conflict with Yi Mo. Tsang Luo thanked and then saluted with his fists to Yi Mo. Pill Divine Yi, that markless glass light is extremely important to the winged race. I was planning to deal with this immortal friend privately, but Pill Divine Yi dealt with him first. I acted in a rush. Please forgive Pill Divine Yi. Yi Mo didn't really care as long as he had the item, so he said magnanimously, it's fine, I won't mind. Tsang Luo still said, Pill Divine Yi, this material is extremely important to the winged race. Please name a price. If it's something I can take out, I won't be stingy. Yi Mo needed this material for his flying magic artifact. He wasn't going to give it out just because Tsang Luo said he needed it. Thus, Yi Mo said, sorry, I really need this too. Selfish people are like this. He needs it for his entire race, but some people just wants to take it for his own selfish purpose. I'm ashamed to be with such people. Pu Yangxi scorned. Yi Mo stared coldly at Pu Yangxi. Pu Yangxi, since you're so generous, then give me your abstruse yellow qi. I'll give the markless glass light to immortal friend Tsang Luo. Don't tell me you don't have any. If you're not willing to do that, then don't talk shit. Tsang Luo suddenly sound transmission to Yi Mo. Pill Divine Yi, if you're willing to give it to me, I'm willing to tell you a huge secret. I promise everyone would want to know this secret. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 22:17 Gang Up Due to Green Lotus. Chapter 22:17 Gang Up Due to Green Lotus. Yi Mo cursed Tsang Luo for being an idiot. In order to ensure fairness, the dragon race has set up sound transmission restriction. This meant that everyone couldn't bid secretly. Tsang Luo was a primordial essence divine emperor, but he had no status here. He was just a new primordial essence divine emperor. He was an idiot for daring to sound transmission under such circumstance. Even he would have to be careful. As soon as Tsang Luo said this, his face changed. Clearly, he realized he had done a stupid thing. Zhuge said, I seem to have sensed some sound ripple. Immortal friend Tsang Luo, what good thing is it? Why don't you share it with everyone? Tsang Luo wanted to slap himself a few times. He knew that this was because he cared about the markless glass light too much. He was straightforward and got up. The winged race really needs the markless glass light. Immortal friends, if you can give it to me, I'm willing to share the secret with everyone. Read more chapters at Is novel. Come, the glass light is only a level 13 material. It's not very rare. Pill Divine Yi, my winged race is far from its prime, but we have quite some level 13 immortal materials. If you're willing to give the glass light to me, you can choose any level 13 material from the winged race. Len Shuachi had some good impression towards Yi Mo, seeing how Tsang Luo wanted to use this method of giving pressure to Yi Mo and get the material. He felt contemptuous. He said calmly, Immortal friend Tsang Luo, you mean to say that if immortal friend you doesn't take out the markless glass light, you wouldn't tell us? Tsang Luo bit his teeth and said yes. Yi Mo sneered. Even if he didn't take it out, Tsang Luo thought too, simply wanting to give him pressure through other primordial essence divine emperors. If the markless glass light wasn't rare, what was? When Des Hui said, slowly, immortal friend Song Luo, you need to tell us what the secret is about. See if it's worth pill divine you giving the material to you. Yi Mo knew that when Des Hui meant to say that he wanted to see if the secret was worth other people helping. Song Luo had decided to use all means necessary. Now that when Des Hui and Pu Yangxi were backing him up and the two dragon primordial essences didn't talk. Clearly they were waiting to see if this news was worth the value. Okay, I'll say it. I know where the Chaos Green Lotus is. I can take everyone there. I can't open it alone, but with a few primordial essence friends, we can definitely get it. Song Luo's words was like a nuclear bomb. In the endless void universe, there was the 10 great spirit items. Chaos Green Lotus was the first. This was the only chaos spirit item. It could be said that in this world, there was nothing more precious than the Chaos Green Lotus other than the Chaos Tree. Just what use did the markless glass light have for the winged race? They were even willing to spill such a secret. Song Luo said, if I can get the markless glass light, I will immediately say where the Chaos Green Lotus is. I believe everyone knows the talent of the winged race. If I want to leave here, no one can stop me. If I hide, no one will be able to find me again. Song Luo said this, so people wouldn't coerce him to tell where the lotus was. When Des Hui heard this and got up while looking at other people, Pu Yangxi got up without hesitation and looked at Yi Mo. Even Zhuge Jichin smiled and saluted with his fists. Pill divine, the Chaos Green Lotus is too attractive. I have no choice but to get up. Yi Mo knew that this guy was purely benefit motivated. It was normal for him to change sides so quickly. Song Luo looked at the dragon race. Ao Wan didn't move, but she got up and saluted with his fists. Pill divine, the Chaos Green Lotus is no small matter. I promise that even if Pill divine gives out the markless glass light, you won't lose out. We few primordial essence divine emperor are willing to pay for it together. Even if others don't, the dragon race is willing. Aolwan didn't get up, but she clearly represented the dragon race. Yi Mo sneered. Indeed, in front of interests, all the good words were bullshit. Other than Aolwan, who didn't talk, there were already 6 primordial essence divine emperor who signaled for Yi Mo to take out the markless glass light. No matter how powerful Yi Mo was, he wouldn't be able to escape from 6 primordial essence divine emperor. Even so, Zhuge Jichin smiled at Tang Tsongyin, Len Shuachi, and Jiao Dan. What do you 3 think? He didn't even care about the half-primordial essences. Len Shuachi hesitated for a while and said, everyone wants the Chaos Green Lotus. No one can take it for themselves. But the markless glass light belongs to Pill Divine Yi. We'll listen to Pill Divine Yi. Len Shuachi said this, but didn't get up. Yi Mo had only seen Len Shuachi once, and yet Len Shuachi did this. This meant that this person was worth becoming friends with. If it was Zhuge Jichin, he would have long gotten up. Jiao Dan was very happy that Yi Mo did as he promised, and didn't call him fried egg. Just when he was about to say he wasn't going to give up Chaos Green Lotus, but there was no way he was going to help Song Luo rob things, Yi Mo got up. Everyone, the markless glass light is in my hands, but I don't plan to give it out. No one can take it from me. If you want to fight, then go ahead. Then, Yi Mo took Shadowless and Qiu Rang into the Golden Page world. He was not weaker than any primordial essence, divine emperor right now. Even though he used Golden Page world in front of these primordial essence, divine emperor, no one knew about it. But Yi Mo planned to leave. He knew that he was no match for these primordial essence, divine emperors joined up. If he was a true primordial essence, divine emperor, he would never run. Song Luo's face changed when he saw Yi Mo not planning to take out the material under the pressure of 6 primordial essence, divine emperor. When he saw Wen Des Hui and Pu Yangxi's sly smile, he knew that he was used. But nevertheless, he was going to get the material. It was too important for his race. Seeing Yi-Mo retreat a few steps, Aowan suddenly got up and said, "Pill Divine Yi, this guest palace is an important ground to the dragon race. Don't bother thinking about tearing space and leaving. I believe a markless glass light is nothing too important. Why not take it out? You can get a share of the Chaos Green Lotus. Compared to that, the markless glass light is really nothing." "Really? Then I must really try." Yi-Mo said calmly and walked 2 steps in the void and threw out a few formation flags while releasing Zissou. He had some guilt towards the dragon race before. Shadowless took too many of their fruits, but now he felt Shadowless took too little. It was best that he took the entire garden. They changed face way too quick. His bottle of purple heaven pills had gone to waste. If it was some other primordial essence divine emperor, he wouldn't be able to tear open space, but Yi-Mo was a formation master, and he checked this formation when he came in. He had never thought he would flee here, but checking the formation for a way out was a habit. Yi-Mo reacted quickly, but so did the other divine emperors. Almost at the same time, Yi-Mo released Zissou. A few magic artifact lights struck towards Yi-Mo's back. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2218 Great Kuan Demon God Sutra. Chapter 2218 Great Kuan Demon God Sutra. Rumble Rumble. Yi-Mo's realm domain cracked apart. One dark ray that far surpassed other magic artifact rays tore open Yi-Mo's realm domain and smashed on Yi-Mo's body first. Even though Yi-Mo was divine body, blood mist flew. But due to this, Zissou tore open space and Yi-Mo disappeared. The people in the guest palace were all shocked. Yi-Mo only spent 1 second to leave, but the power he showed in such a short time was unbelievable. Yi-Mo's pill concoction restriction showed his powerful formation skills. Now that he left this guest palace, it meant that he could find the formation door of the guest palace. To be able to do that in such a short time, clearly Yi-Mo's formation skills were far beyond anyone here. With how he used his body to block Pu Yangxi's strike and only spraying some blood, it meant that his body refinement was at divine body level. Yi-Mo was a pill divine too. Even those powerful beings born at the beginning of chaos were at most like this. Pu Yangxi wasn't happy at all that he got Yi-Mo. His face was already gray, and now it was even bleaker. He knew that his strike didn't do damage to Yi-Mo at all. Now, there was greater conflict between them. He knew that if Yi-Mo left here, no one would go hunt Yi-Mo. The reason the dragon race and Zhuge Jichin attacked was to get the markless flowing light from Yi-Mo. Now that it was gone, they had no conflict with Yi-Mo. Of course, this would depend if Yi-Mo would get revenge. She released his magic artifact, but his attack was a little slow and didn't touch Yi-Mo. Those who really attacked Yi-Mo was Pu Yangxi, Wen Deshui, Tsang Luo, and Zhuge Jichin. These few primordial essence divine emperors sat down. Tsang Luo was gone. The winged race primordial essence divine emperor had strong control over space and had immense speed too. Unless there really was a powerful being that could completely turn the surrounding space to be his. Otherwise, he wouldn't be caught. Even Yi-Mo could only use one region god art in a set location and time. Of course, if Yi-Mo reached primordial essence, then his one region god art would upgrade and could completely keep Tsang Luo. Yi-Mo stood in the void and was very annoyed. The markless glass light was level 13 material, but it was extremely rare. This piece was this huge too. It was no less precious than primordial material. Other people didn't take it not because they didn't know how precious it was, but because they couldn't find a top-level forgery divine. Yi-Mo was a top-level forgery divine. How could he let such a big piece go? If this thing fell into Tsang Luo's hands, Yi-Mo was certain even he wouldn't be able to get it back from Tsang Luo. More importantly, who didn't want the Chaos Green Lotus. He wanted it too, but he knew that with this many primordial essence divine emperors searching for it, even if he found it, he would have no advantage. As long as he took the markless glass light, Tsang Luo would definitely run. That way, the Chaos Green Lotus wouldn't be exposed. Yi Emo didn't need to worry about Tsang Luo taking the lotus. If he could, he wouldn't spill the secret. He had the material. As long as Tsang Luo couldn't find another one, he wouldn't need to worry about Tsang Luo not searching for him. Yi Emo knew this thing was very useful to Tsang Luo. Even if he was to give it to Tsang Luo, he wouldn't let other divine emperors take advantage of it. He was the one giving the markless glass light to Tsang Luo. Why should other people get a share? But Yi Emo didn't plan to share the Chaos Green Lotus with Tsang Luo. The main reason he got the markless glass light was to forge Flying God artifact. He received some injuries, but these injuries were nothing to the Chaos Tree. He recovered and then immediately went out to find a way to leave. Yi Emo had been through so many voids, and now his spirit sense could feel the void realm. He easily tore open the void before him and returned to a familiar place. Yi Mo's spirit sense was on par, if not stronger than Primordial Essence Divine Emperor right now. However, no matter how strong the spirit sense of a Tao Essence Divine Emperor was, there was still a qualitative difference compared to Primordial Essence Divine Emperor. Yi Mo's spirit sense cultivation method was extremely powerful, but before learning Primordial Essence Tao, it was impossible to break open these high-level void realms. Yi Emo released Blue Moon and gave the Guangyuan Palace location orb to Shadowless. He let the three fly Blue Moon towards the Guangyuan Palace while he went inside the Golden Page world. He was prepared to forge extreme, grade Flying God artifact. He never planned to give the markless glass light to the winged race. In the immortal realm Grand Heaven Domain Chaos Star Realm, Yan Zhoutian stood at the entrance to the 5th level for a long time before saying, "I can go out." He had returned to Immortal Emperor Peak Stage, but this time he was in no rush to vindicate Tao. After experiencing all this and how the divine Tao realm tunnel was exposed by a divine emperor called Li Xiu, he realized that relying on the 33 heavens to vindicate Tao was a joke. 33 heavens was the broken immortal realm. It would be strange if that could vindicate Tao. The reason he chose the 33 heavens to vindicate Tao and not some other means was because he didn't want to vindicate an ordinary Tao. He wanted to surpass everyone. He went into the Chaos Star realm to prepare himself for going to the divine Tao realm. He was going to vindicate Tao there. "You're Yan Zhoutian?" A cold voice sounded, and then a gray-robed man came before Yan Zhoutian. "Who are you?" Hearing this person dare to talk to him in such tone, Yan Zhoutian's face sunk. This person was extremely skinny and only Immortal Emperor primary stage. "You don't need to know who I am, but did you take the 3-death Tao fruit at Chaos Star Realm Level 7? This skinny Immortal Emperor primary stage asked coldly. Yan Zhoutian was so furious that he laughed. How dare an Immortal Emperor primary stage talk to him in such arrogant tone? "You want Death Tao fruit? Let the Emperor see if you have the capability." A black line on Yan Zhoutian's wrist suddenly turned to countless dark rays that formed a huge net. It locked the nearby space and loomed towards the skinny Immortal Emperor primary stage. This skinny Immortal Emperor waved out a golden light. Yan Zhoutian realized that this was a golden staff. It easily tore open Yan Zhoutian's black net and his Immortal Emperor domain. Yan Zhoutian was extremely shocked. He had never lost to someone of the same cultivation level. This was someone weaker than him. The golden staff was extremely terrifying. It expanded and shot down tens of thousands of Buddhist rays. Yan Zhoutian felt this was extremely eerie. On the outside, it looked like tens of thousands of golden Buddhist light, but when it fell, it was bleak like demonic hell. Yan Jiutian immediately realized this was Great Koan Demon God Sutra, the most terrifying demon Tao cultivation method. It's said to have been left behind by a demon race powerful being. How could someone in the immortal realm have this? More importantly, this person fused the demon sutra with Buddhist light. Wait, your magic artifact belongs to Nanming Heaven Zen Temple's number 1 master Gongji Tsangming. Why is his magic artifact in your hands? Yan Jiutian asked seriously. As he spoke, the dark mist turned into countless dark rays that blocked the Buddhist light. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2219 Dongfang Wang's Fury. Chapter 2219 Dongfang Wang's Fury Buddhist light clashed with the dark rays and exploded out countless dark beams. There was clearly Buddhist light, but after the explosion there was no golden light at all. The terrifying immortal essence force cracked the nearby void. The realm space of the Chaos Star realm was extremely tough. Ordinary immortal emperor wouldn't even be able to break it at all. Yet, Yan Jiutian's battle with this little immortal emperor primary stage cracked the space. One could see that their god art was far beyond ordinary immortal emperors. Yan Jiutian was smashed flying by this terrifying power. That immortal emperor primary stage retreated a little, but Yan Jiutian's heart sunk. He was actually outmatched by an immortal emperor primary stage. He had never thought he would lose again to someone of the same cultivation level. He lost to Yemo, who was weaker than him before, and that was already his shame. Now, he lost to an immortal emperor primary stage. Yan Jiutian was thinking, was he really getting old? Yan Jiutian's confidence was crushed. When he lost to Yemo twice, he wasn't this defeated as he knew his cultivation level hadn't recovered. But now there was another maniac. In just one clash, he was at the disadvantaged. Who are you? Yan Jiutian asked. You have the right to know who I am. The emperor is Dongfang Wang. The skinny immortal emperor said, and then the golden staff emitted tens of thousands of golden light. He was a little shocked himself. He had been used to being invincible amongst peers. So what if this guy was immortal emperor tertiary stage? This was the first time he saw someone clash head-on with him and not be at a great disadvantage. Dongfang Wang? Yan Jiutian thought for a long time and couldn't think of who this was. I've never encountered a match amongst peers. Seeing how you can escape under my Buddhist light, I'll give you an opportunity. Hand over the 3-death Tao fruit and go. I won't kill you. More light gathered on the staff, but Dongfang Wang didn't attack. Invincible amongst peers? Yan Jiutian sneered, say that when you encounter that guy. I'm weaker than you now, but keep dreaming if you want my death Tao fruit. Yan Jiutian shook and disappeared. Visit our Ist novel. Calm Dongfang Wang reached out his spirit sense and didn't find any trace of Yan Jiutian. He immediately frowned. He felt his experience was lacking compared to these old guys of the immortal realm. Yan Jiutian probably used space breaking to run away. If his immortal friend's domain could see the space up here, Yan Jiutian wouldn't get away so easily. I can leave here too. Dongfang Wang's eyes showed fervor. A woman appeared in his mind. When he was only a golden immortal, she gave some pills and immortal crystals to him. At that time, he knew the difference between them was heavens apart. If he wanted to know her, he would have to bring his cultivation level to the peak. He cultivated like crazy. Other people would need hundreds or thousands of years to break through, but he only needed a few decades. For the same god art, other people could only release 70% of the power, but he could release 120% of the power. The things other people didn't understand, he only needed to devour abstruse yellow qi to understand. He had a secret no one knew, and that was he killed Gongji, Songming's essence spirit. He got a bead from the skeleton. This bead was called Abstruse Yellow Orb. In order to speed up his cultivation, he had always been in the Chaos Star realm. There was many dangers here, but also many fortunes. Because he had the Abstruse Yellow Orb, his life was saved countless times. He also fused Gongji Songming and his great Kuin demon god sutra in the orb. Those who didn't fight him would never know his terror. If that Yan Jiutian dared to keep fighting, he knew he could kill Yan Jiutian. He wasn't worried of exposing his staff. His power gave him the confidence. He would say he found the staff. Would the Zen temple dare to say anything? Before Ethmou Immortal Sect, a gray-robed, skinny man appeared. His eyes were spewing with anger. He swore he would turn Mou Immortal Sect to dust and kill everyone there. This person was Dongfang Wang. The first thing he investigated when he came out of the Chaos Star realm was Zhen Bingyu. Her extreme beauty and figure was deeply imprinted in his mind. Dongfang Wang was a firm-willed person. He loved Zhen Bingyu, but he knew that only when he reached Immortal Emperor would he have the right to say he loved her. Now that he reached Immortal Emperor in the Grand Heaven domain, he immediately came down to Gonghua Heaven to learn about Zhen Bingyu. He didn't spend long to find out that Zhen Bingyu went to Mou Immortal Sect frequently. He also found out that she seemed close with the sect leader Yemo. When he first heard of Yemo, he didn't realize that Yemo was the person who annihilates Shitang on Earth. When he saw Yemo's image and heard of what he did, his fury was completely ignited. The sect leader of Mou Immortal Sect was the person he hated the most. He thought Yemo was a small cultivator, but instead, this person was an immortal emperor and built the Mou Immortal Sect. Yemo hunted him everywhere on Earth, and even in the immortal realm. He was still above him. The goddess he loved the most was Zhen Bingyu, and yet Yemo was shameless enough to be with some otherworldly beauty like her. If he didn't kill Yemo, how could he release his anger? He was no longer the weak Dongfang Wang on Earth. He was an invincible immortal emperor. He believed he could kill Yemo with his demonic Buddhist light. He was going to annihilate Mou Immortal Sect, kill Yemo, and everyone related to Yemo. If it was some other thing, Dongfang Wang could contain his anger, but thinking about how the woman he loved was with Yemo, how could he resist? Plus, with his power, he didn't need to forbear. That perfect figure in the depth of his mind was ruined by Yemo rumble. His golden staff struck on the defense formation of Mou Immortal Sect. Immediately, almost the entire sect knew the formation was being attacked. The formation instantly activated countless formation light. Facing such beams, Dongfang Wang could only retreat. But no matter how powerful this defense formation was, he was going to break it. Who are you? How dare you attack the Mou Immortal Sect? A woman appeared at the formation door and yelled. Tens of dashing lights came out behind him. A mere immortal king dares to mind the emperor's business. The emperor shall turn Mou Immortal Sect to dust. Where is Yemo? Let him see who I am. Dongfang Wang felt very satisfied. Immortal Emperor? The woman called out in shock. Mou Immortal Sect had quite a lot of immortal emperors, but they weren't in the sect. Due to Mou Immortal Sect's fame, the immortal emperors didn't even need to stay in the sect. 2 of them went to the Divine Tao realm, and the rest didn't stay in the sect. The woman was vice sect leader Lu Feng. Just when she was worried and about to send flying messengers soared to call back the few immortal emperors, she heard a soft voice. Who is going to turn a mortal friend, yes, Mou Immortal Sect to dust? Qian Bei, Lu Feng saw the person and opened the formation in surprise and joy before bowing. Dongfang Wang just wanted to reproach, but he found the nearby space to be completely bound. He couldn't even move at all. A beautiful middle-aged woman smiled to Lu Feng. I was just at extreme wind heaven, and I sensed my mark on the formation being attacked. so I came over." Hearing this, Dongfang Wang was scared soulless. How far was the extreme wind heaven from Gonghua heaven? How long had he even been attacking the formation, and this person was here? What power was this? Divine Emperor? If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2220 Flee Like a Dog. Chapter 2220 Flee Like a Dog. This was definitely a divine emperor. Dongfang Wang immediately realized, no matter how strong an immortal emperor was, he wouldn't be bound by one. No immortal emperor would be able to cross this many heavens in such a short time. Dongfang Wang knew this woman was close to Yi Mo. Dongfang Wang knew that whether he could live or not today depended on if this woman was murderous. For the first time today, he felt he was impulsive. He knew about Dao Vindication Divine Emperor, but he had never heard of one in the immortal realm. It was because he knew there was no divine emperor, and no one could stop him, that he was this cocky. Yet, a divine emperor appeared in the immortal realm. This divine emperor also happened to be close to the MOU immortal sect he was going to attack. One's luck couldn't be this bad, right? You want to annihilate MOU immortal sect? MOU immortal sect is the leader by example of the immortal realm. They never abuse the weak. What right do you have to annihilate MOU immortal sect? The woman greeted Lu Feng and then asked Dongfang Wang coldly. This woman was Elisha. After Yimo helped her out a great deal. She stayed at the immortal realm guarding the tunnel to divine Dao realm. She didn't like to kill and thus didn't attack Dongfang Wang. If it was some bad-tempered Dao molding divine emperor, he would have turned Dongfang Wang to dust with one palm. Dongfang Wang said with fury, "I've always been cultivating in the Chaos Star realm. I have two prides in my ilf. One is that I have an extremely beautiful and loving wife. The second is that I have the best immortal spirit root." Li Xiu used spirit sense to check Dongfang Wang and saw that he wasn't lying. His immortal spirit root was definitely the best, and he wasn't old. Dongfang Wang said hatefully, "My wife's father didn't like us being together. I've ignored death cultivating in the Chaos Star realm just so I can reach Divine Emperor earlier and take my wife to see her father and let him accept me. However, when I came back, I saw that my wife was taken away and abused. Dongfang Wang knew that if he lied to a Divine Emperor, it would be seen through. His hatred towards Yi Mo was real. Yi Mo robbed the person he loved so much on earth, and Jiqi and now took away the goddess he loved in the immortal realm. With how Yi Mo annihilated Shi Tang and chased him like a dog, how could he forget this hatred? Li Xiu nodded. She could tell that Dongfang Wang's hatred was real. When I asked, I found out that it was MOU immortal sect Yi Mo who took my wife by force. Even if my soul is annihilated, I will get revenge. Qianbei, I know I may not be a match for you. You can kill me if you want, but there's no way I would give up my hatred towards Yi Mo. Li Xiu said calmly, "Let's not talk about whether the news is real or false. Even if Yi Mo took your wife, you can only get angry at him." What has this got to do with MOU immortal sect? Dongfang Wang dazed. He submitted to realize that he shouldn't be angry at MOU immortal sect. His emotions calmed down a little. Yes, Qianbei, I shouldn't bring this on others. I was just so furious. Please punish me. I know with Qianbei here, I can't kill Yi Mo, this evil bastard. But before you kill Wan Bei wants to see my wife. Lu Feng yelled, "Keep your mouth clean. Sect leader Yi is a person of great honor. Would he rob the wife of someone like you?" Uffed. Li Xiu asked plainly, "How long have you been cultivating in the Chaos Star realm?" Dongfang Wang dazed and subconsciously answered, "Nearly 200 years. I miss my wife, so every 200 years I would go see her." Li Xiu said calmly, "Immortal friend, ye has left the immortal realm to the divine Tao realm more than 200 years ago. If you go there, you would have no chance to come back to the immortal realm. How can a mortal friend ye rob and rape your wife? You're probably used?" If Dongfang Wang was acting before, then now he was truly dazed. Divine Tao realm. What is that place? A realm higher than the immortal realm. Immortal realm immortals who reach immortal emperor would usually go to the divine Tao realm to vindicate divine emperor. Li Xiu answered calmly, "Wrong, I was wrong. I was tricked. I hate you." Dongfang Wang murmured and suddenly knelt down before the two. "I, Dongfang Wang, was actually used. Qian Bei, please punish me. Even if you turn me to dust, I wouldn't hate you at all." Then Dongfang Wang sliced off his 2 arms and threw it before Lu Feng. "I, Dongfang Wang, didn't discern the facts and just attacked MOU immortal sect. These 2 arms don't deserve to stay on my body." Dongfang Wang didn't stop the bleeding and kept kneeling. "I do things on my heart. If Qian Bei didn't come today, I almost made a huge mistake. Please punish me, Qian Bei." Li Xiu sighed. Dongfang Wang was too impulsive. Seeing Dongfang Wang still ask for punishment after slicing his arms off, Li Xiu no longer wanted to do anything to Dongfang Wang. She looked at Lu Feng and said, "What do you think?" Lu Feng knew that although Li Xiu was strong, she was very docile. She quickly said, "Qian Bei can decide." Dongfang Wang looked determined. He could tell that Li Xiu wasn't a murderous person, and she already believed him. He had made up his mind. If he didn't die this time, he would definitely go to that divine Tao realm and vindicate Tao. People were insects before Tao vindication. With his terrifying power, he was weaker than an insect in front of a divine emperor. When he vindicated Tao, he would come back and let her know whom she offended. Seeing Dongfang Wang like this, Li Xiu felt pity and said, "Get up. Find your wife. Sect leader, Yi is very honorable. He's not the person you think he is. Don't do things on one side of the story." Dongfang Wang bowed with a pale face. "Yes, Wan Bei will remember this." Wan Bei's wife always said that I was too impulsive. Wan Bei has been trying to change, but this time something happened to her. I really couldn't calm down. Li Xiu nodded. "Go. I hope you can find your wife." "Yes, thank you, Qian Bei, for not killing me. Wan Bei will pay you back." Dongfang Wang walked and didn't even look at the 2 arms on the ground. Li Xiu waved and the 2 arms fell back on his shoulder and connected. "Take your arms." Dongfang Wang knelt down again. "Thank you, Qian Bei. If Wan Bei can't find my wife, I will go to the divine Tao realm and vindicate Tao, and then come back to protect the immortal realm like Qian Bei." Li Xiu didn't think much and nodded, throwing him a jade slip. "This is the void formation door to the divine Tao realm. With your cultivation level, you can go." Dongfang Wang took it and bowed again before leaving MOU immortal sect. Seeing Dongfang Wang leave, Lu Feng bowed again. "Qian Bei, please come into the MOU immortal sect." Li Xiu nodded. "All right, how is Yimo?" Due to Qian Bei's god crystals, she has passed Immortal King, Divine Damnation. She's in solitary cultivation now. Lu Feng said with gratitude. If it wasn't for Li Xiu bringing back many things, MOU Immortal Sect wouldn't have such cultivation speed. Even she wouldn't be able to reach Immortal King Peak stage from primary stage in a few hundred years. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 22, 21 Guang Yuan Palace Young Girl. Chapter 22, 21 Guang Yuan Palace Young Girl. Boss, is this made with that markless glass light? So fast. Shadowless felt the new flying god artifact, Yi-Mo, made and gasped. Not only Shadowless, but small Ginseng and Chiu Rang also excitedly felt around the new flying god artifact. They wanted Yemo to say he would go into solitary cultivation again and leave them to play with this flying god artifact. That's right, this will be called MOU Boat from now on. Yemo was extremely happy with this. This was the best magic artifact he had made, and it was an extreme grade flying god artifact. There were many extreme grade flying god artifact, but the difference was huge. His space-time boat was upgraded from low-grade flying god artifact. Although it used many of Yemo's materials, its quality wasn't very good. It was rather bad amongst extreme grade flying god artifact. Compared to MOU Boat, it was heavens apart. Yemo made MOU Boat personally, and he inscribed every formation on it. Whether it was material or formation, it was the best. Markless glass light had this special property, and that was passing through realm barriers. If you had enough power, you don't even need tearing formation. You could just use markless glass light to pass realm. Those weaker people could markless glass light to cross realm too. Yemo only noticed this property when he was forging. Markless glass light could pass through the highest level void barrier. This made Yemo overjoyed. Yemo used MOU Boat for less than a month and the Guangyuan Palace on a location orb cleared up. Yemo knew that he was at Guangyuan Palace. He let Shadowless enter the Golden Page world. Qiao, he was murderous and cold, but Yemo trusted this person would keep his word. So, Yemo never went back to the Divine Dao realm and came straight to the Guangyuan Palace. When MOU passed through a region of space and clouds, Guangyuan Palace appeared before him. Yemo thought Guangyuan Palace was a place, so it wouldn't be too huge. When he saw the immense heaven domain before him, he immediately knew this place was far from what he imagined. Guangyuan Palace was not only big, but also had quite some people. Yemo scanned with his spirit sense and found there were millions of people. There were all sorts of races here. A palace was floating in the middle of this heaven domain. Below the palace was clouds. Yemo immediately guessed that this was Guangyuan Palace. He had seen many palaces, but Guangyuan Palace seemed like an immortal palace the most. Yemo stood before the defense formation of the heaven domain. He didn't go in. If he forcefully entered, it would be considered provocation. Yemo didn't wait for long, and an immortal monarch flew out of the realm and stood before the realm protection formation, asking Yemo, "May I ask what business does a mortal friend have at Guangyuan Palace?" He could tell Yemo was much stronger than him, but he still called Yemo immortal friend. One could see how confident Guangyuan Palace was. "I'm Xiaohe's friend. I was invited by him to come concoct pills for young mistress." Yemo saluted with his fists. Hearing this, the immortal monarch asked in shock, "You're a pill divine? You're going to concoct pills for the young mistress?" Yemo said again, "You heard right. I'm a pill divine. Specifically, immortal friend Xiao invited me over for pill concoction." This immortal monarch quickly apologized and asked, "Why isn't Divine he back?" Yemo took out the jade slip Xiao he left for him and said, "This is left by immortal friend Xiao. Have a look." Xiao, his jade slip was to introduce Yemo and say that he wouldn't be able to come back yet. This immortal monarch looked at the jade slip and then quickly took out a jade card opening the formation. "So your pill divine, Yi, please come in." Yemo went in and asked, "You know me?" The immortal monarch quickly said, "Divine, he already said in the jade slip, and the Guangyuan Palace have long heard of Pill Divine Ye's name, the number 1 Pill Divine. Palace Lord just finished solitary cultivation and went to the Void Marketplace to invite Pill Divine. However, Pill Divine Yi came to our Guangyuan Palace instead. I'll immediately report to the Palace Lord." Yemo nodded and said, "When you send a message, say, 'I can't stay for long. Please come back quickly.'" Since the Palace Lord wasn't here, he wouldn't be able to concoct pills. As soon as this immortal monarch brought Yemo to the entrance of the palace, he was stopped by a green-robed young girl. The immortal monarch quickly bowed. Liang Kai greet young mistress. The young girl said calmly, Liang Kai, this is Pill Divine, you right? I'll greet him personally. You go do your things first. Yes, young mistress. The immortal monarch quickly retreated. Yi Emo noticed this girl. She had no essence chi wave. Her face was a bit pale. The hand she showed was extremely white too. One can even see her veins. Her forehead was a little wider than ordinary girls', but her eyes were extremely bright. Her long eyelash moved gently as though they could speak. To be specific, she wasn't an extremely pretty woman, but she was very pleasant to look at. She had this calm and gentle chi about her. Someone who had never cultivated but could make people feel this was definitely a kind-heart person. From the news Liang Kai just sent, he said that Pill Divine, ye came just to concoct pills for Nian Yan. Nian Yan is very grateful. My dad isn't in the palace. Pill Divine, you please follow me. The young girl bowed to Yi Mo and spoke very politely. Yi Mo followed Nian Yan into the depth of the Guangyuan Palace. He could tell on the way that there were extremely powerful formations everywhere. Even a Tao Essence peak stage would soon be trapped by formation without Nian Yan leading the way. Nian Yan hadn't cultivated before, but she spoke like the spring wind. Even Yi Mo felt it was relaxing to talk to such a girl. Yi Mo thought Nian Yan would take him to the guest room, but instead Nian Yan took him to a girl's bedroom. Without a doubt, it was her room. When Yi Mo saw Nian Yan's room, he realized there was no intimate feminine feel about her room. All there were just books. These books were all made with the thinnest heavenworm silk. Each book was extremely thick. Yi Mo scanned with his spirit sense. There were all sorts of books here: medicine, pill concoction, formation, forgery, cultivation method. There were even ordinary immortal novels. Nian Yan's soul was crippling, so she couldn't cultivate nor have spirit sense. Yi Mo didn't feel strange that the books she read weren't made with jade slip. However, he didn't get why Nian Yan read all these books when she couldn't cultivate. I can't cultivate. When Dad and all my friends start cultivate, all that can keep me company are my books. This is my book room and also my friend. Every book here is my friend. They've kept me company until one day that I die. Nian Yan said calmly. She smiled as though not worrying for her sickness at all. Yi Mo suddenly felt sympathetic towards Nian Yan. It was very normal for someone who couldn't cultivate to live on Earth, but here it was too unbearable. Everyone around her was cultivating, only she couldn't. She didn't even have anything to talk with others. If this only lasted a few days, it was fine, but it lasted years. This loneliness and boredom could kill people. Nian Yan could sit here and calmly talk to him and introduce him to her friends, shocked Yi Mo. How lonely was a person who could only be friends with books? Actually, I really want to cultivate big god arts like others and then travel the cosmos and fly in the void. Nian Yan's eyes were full of hope. Yi Mo felt touched and said, Don't worry. Since I'm here, I will definitely help you concoct the shaking light soul pill and cure your condition. Yi Mo was quite confident with this. Nian Yan shook her head. Brother Yi, you're older than me, so I'll call you Big Brother. In fact, no one can concoct the shaking light soul pill, as the pill recipe is incomplete. Yi Mo looked at Nian Yan in shock. He knew there was a problem with the recipe because he was a top pill divine and had 3 birth chant to help him derive. However, how did Nian Yan know the pill recipe was incomplete? Since she knew, the Guangyuan Palace Lord definitely knew too. Why was he still looking for pill divines to concoct the pill? If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2222, Help or No? Chapter 2222, Help or No? Is it Guangyuan Palace, Lord Feng Guang, immortal friend ahead? A gray flying ship just came to the outskirts of the Void marketplace and was stopped by a man on an immortal ship. At the same time, an extremely fast golden ship came across the Void. 4 men sat on the golden ship. If it was some ordinary immortal ship, there was no way the gray ship would stop. But when the man above the gray ship noticed the 4 people on the golden ship, he immediately stopped and saluted with his fists. So it's immortal friend Ao, Zhuge, Wen, and Pu. This is really coincidental. Fengguang just wanted to leave the Void marketplace, and I encountered you guys. Fengguang was busy before and was unable to come to Ao, she immortal friend's primordial essence ceremony. Please forgive me, immortal friend Ao Shi. These 4 were Ao Shi, Wen Des Hui, Puyangxi, and Zhuge Jichin. The 4 had agreed to search for Yi Mo's news at the Void marketplace. If there was no news of him, they would go to the winged race. Even if Tsang Luo didn't come out, they would force Tsang Luo to come out. The Chaos Green Lotus was no small matter. There was no way they would give up on it. They didn't contact Lin Shuachi, Tang Tsongyin, and Jiao Dan because they felt they were closer to Yimo Ao. She quickly said, "How do I dare to blame immortal friend Fengguang? Immortal friend Fengguang is alone in the Guangyuan Palace. It's natural that you have a lot of things to handle." "Long time no see, Palace Lord. Since we happened to meet today, why don't we go get a drink at the Void marketplace together?" Zhuge Jichin got up and smiled. Fengguang said with trouble, "If it was before, Fengguang would definitely go, but today I really do have an emergency. I believe you all know about my daughter. There's a pill divine headed towards the Guangyuan Palace today. I have to go back." Pill divine for pill concoction? Is it number 1 pill divine Yimo from the Void marketplace? Zhuge Jichin's eyes lit up and asked. Fengguang nodded. "That's right, it's pill divine Yi. Does immortal friend Zhuge know pill divine Yi too?" Zhuge Jichin glanced at the other 3. Their faces were full of joy. Zhuge Jichin saluted with his fists. "Palace Lord, we want to go have a look at Guangyuan Palace. Of course, if Palace Lord joins us, we would have more confidence." Nian looked at Yi Mo's shocked glance and said softly, "Brother, Yi doesn't believe what I said? I have Brother Yi is the number 1 pill divine of the Void marketplace. Your understanding of pill Tao must be extremely high, but what I'm saying is the truth. I won't lie to Brother Yi." Yi Mo nodded. "Sister Nian, tell me about it." He was already a bit suspicious of Fengguang. Nian sighed. "The recipe seems complete, but it's actually lacking a very important thing, and that is life force. No matter how precious the shaking light herb is, it can't be forged into the shaking light soul pill without life force." Yi Mo was shocked at how smart Nian was. Although she didn't understand what life force was missing, but just knowing this was already shocking enough. She couldn't cultivate, so she learned all this from the books and derived it herself. He had vindicated Tao and focused on pill concoction and also used 3-birth chant to derive this. Compared to her, he was far off. Nian only knew that life force was lacking. She didn't know it was chaos life force that was lacking. Nian saw Yi Mo stay silent and said, "My dad cultivated 3 shaking light herbs. He invited 2 of the most renowned pill divines to concoct the shaking light soul pill, but they all failed." Nian seemed sad, and then she said, "My dad is a pill concoction divine emperor. I already told him when I realized that life force was lacking. However, my dad loves me too much and still invited the 2 pill divines over. When they were about done, my dad pulled out their life force and threw it into the cauldron," Yimo realized. Guangyuan Palace Lord wanted to use the pill divine's life force. However, he didn't know that only chaos life force could be fused into the pill. Thinking about this, Yimo suddenly felt wrong. If Guangyuan Palace Lord didn't know it was chaos life force that was missing, he wouldn't use the pill divine's life force. He would grab a few random people and pull out their life force. When pill divines were concocting the pill, their mind was fused with the pill, so using this life force would be better than ordinary life force. From this, it was quite possible that the Guangyuan Palace Lord New Chaos Life Force was missing. He couldn't get it, and thus had no choice but to replace it with Pill Divine Life Force. However, the two before failed. Brother Yi, you should leave quickly. My dad will be back soon. He's worried about me and set up a one-use long-distance teleportation formation. Nian saw Yi Mo fall silent and seemed to understand what she said. Yi Mo was in extreme conflict. Should he help her concoct pill? She was such a kind woman. If he didn't do it for her, he would feel really annoyed. However, that Guangyuan Palace was no nice person. Then, Nian seemed to have thought of something. She grabbed a thick book from the shelf and placed it in Yi Mo's hands. Brother Yi, you're the first to help me concoct pills. This is what I've written after years of studying pill concoction and herbs. It might help you. If one day I disappear but the things I wrote still exist, I would be very happy. When he got this book, Yi Mo had made up his mind to concoct the Shaking Light Soul Pill for Nian. He was a Tao Essence Divine Emperor. So what if the Palace Lord was a Primordial Essence Divine Emperor, who could stop him if he wanted to go? When he met Master Tianze on Earth, Tianze said to stay true to his heart. He had never done anything that was against his heart. If he wanted to concoct pills for Nianya, but didn't because he was scared of the Guangyuan Palace Lord, he would lose his true heart. How could he vindicate primordial essence? Thinking about this, Yi Mo took her book and saluted with his fist, Sister Nian. Since I came, of course, I will concoct a cauldron of shaking light soul pill. Just trust me. Before Nian spoke, there was a laughter. Then a skinny but extremely tall man pushed open the door and came in. He saluted with his fists to Yi Mo. Thank you for coming to Guangyuan Palace, Pill Divine. Feng Guang wasted some time outside. Please forgive me. Seeing her dad come in, Nian's face went even more pale. She knew that even if Yi Mo wanted to leave, he wouldn't be able to. Nian sighed and came up pulling Yi Mo's clothes. Thank you, Pill Divine, Yi, for helping Nian concoct pill. Even if it fails, Nian will forever remember Pill Divine Yi. Then she bowed to Yi Mo. Yi Mo knew that she meant to say if he was killed by her dad, she would remember his help. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 22-23 Chaos Life Force. Chapter 22-23 Chaos Life Force. Greet Palace Lord. I'm friends with Xiao He. I was asked by him to concoct pills for young Mistress Nian. It's not tiring. Yi Mo's views towards this palace lord changed, and his tone grew much plainer. Feng Guan said very hospitably, Pill concoction is of no rush. Pill Divine Yi is a guest. Please come to the guest palace and enjoy some immortal fruit. Then he said to his daughter, Nian, don't worry. Pill Divine Yi is the #1 pill divine of the Void Marketplace. He can definitely concoct the Shaking Light Soul Pill for you. Yes, Dad. Nian bowed. Yi Mo suddenly thought of Ao Man. She could ask for things in front of her father, but Nian was completely different. The palace lord seemed to love his daughter a lot. He got her so many books and searched around for pill divines to concoct pills for her. He spent such great wealth and effort to cultivate 3 shaking light herbs. When Yi Mo followed the palace lord into the guest palace, there were 4 people sitting in a room stealthed by all sorts of restrictions. If Yi Mo came here, he would clearly know who these people were. They were Pu Yangxi, Wen Des Hui, Zhuge Jichen, and Ao Shi. Feng Guang is indeed very nice to his daughter. The Shaking Light herb isn't so easily prepared. However, I wonder if that Yi Mo could concoct the Shaking Light pill for him. She drank some immortal wine and said, I hope he can do it quickly and then do as he promised. When Des Hui said coldly. Pu Yongxi sneered but said nothing. This sneer was subtle, but Zhuge Jichin saw it. He knew that Pu Yongxi's sneer wasn't targeted at Yi Mo, but when Des Hui. Thinking about this, Zhuge Jichin knew that Pu Yongxi and Ao, she probably knew that Yi Mo had much better things than markless glass light. However, when Des Hui was an idiot, he was shrouded by hatred. Thinking about this, Zhuge Jichin said, "Are you guys really willing to give Yi Mo over to Feng Guang as long as he hands over the markless glass light?" Pu Yongxi and Ao, she just glanced at Zhuge Jichin, but said nothing. When Des Hui was a primordial essence, divine emperor too. Now that Zhuge Jichin made it so obvious, he immediately realized, if we still want Yimo's other belongings, then Guang Yuan Palace Lord, when Des Hui suddenly realized. Guang Yuan Palace Lord said before that if Yi Mo failed pill concoction, he would ask Yi Mo for compensation and give the markless glass light to him. He only asked to get a leaf of the green lotus. If Yi Mo succeeded in pill concoction, he would still persuade Yi Mo to hand the markless glass light over. But since Yi Mo helped with pill concoction, he would protect Yi Mo's life. How could he not have heard of Guang Yuan Palace Lord's character? There was no way he would protect Yi Mo's life just to thank him. That meant that regardless if Yi Mo succeeded in pill concoction or not, the Palace Lord would give them the markless glass light, but not Yi Mo. Why did the Palace Lord want Yi Mo? Clearly it was because of what Yi Mo had. Yi Mo was this insanely powerful. He definitely had good things on him. However, the Palace Lord seemed to have underestimated Yi Mo. It wasn't quite possible for the Guang Yuan Palace Lord to take out Yi Mo for certain. Seeing when Des Hui realized this, Zhuge Jichin smiled. Feng Guang underestimated Yi Mo. He thought that Yi Mo was just a Tao Essence divine emperor and could capture him for sure. He thought that we didn't catch Yi Mo because we didn't know where he was. I believe he will soon get a surprise. Pu Yongxi nodded. Yi Mo definitely has more than one secret. He probably has something else other than chaos item. Chaos item? When Des Hui asked in shock, he only guessed that Yi Mo had good things. He didn't really expect Yi Mo had chaos items. Seeing when Des Hui still not realize this, Pu Yongxi shook his head. Yi Mo sold a bottle of chaos chi at the auction. Only chaos treasures can hold chaos chi. Since Yi Mo could take out chaos chi at any time, it meant that he had chaos treasure. Ao, she nodded. I only realized this afterwards. If the jade bottle that Yi Mo gave that half primordial essence was a chaos item, then that jade bottle itself would be worth more than the chaos chi. I checked, he just used a very strong restriction to send the chaos chi into the jade bottle. Even without the jade bottle, the chaos chi wouldn't disperse. The jade bottle is just for show. That can't guarantee that he has chaos item. When Des Hui asked, but then he realized, even the best formation grandmaster could only use very powerful restrictions and formation to gather chaos chi if they didn't have chaos treasure. They couldn't collect too much too. Yi Mo was willing to take out a bottle of chaos chi. This meant that he definitely had more. Although this didn't mean 100% that Yi Mo had chaos item, but it was possible. Zhuge Jichin said, although we can't prove that Yi Mo has chaos item, there's still such possibility. Feng Guang is someone who never does anything without benefits. Since he's willing to help get the markless glass light, but not hand over Yi Mo, he clearly guessed that Yi Mo has some good things. Did that Feng Guang guess that Yi Mo has chaos treasure? When Des Hui asked, Pu Yongxi shook his head. Not necessarily, but possible. Perhaps he wants something else from Yi Mo, but regardless of what it is, it wouldn't be simple if Feng Guang is after it. Why don't we just call Feng Guang over and tell him that Yi Mo isn't someone he can keep alone? We'll say what Yi Mo has, and then we'll split it. If Yi Mo gets away, it wouldn't be good. When Des Hui said he was scared of Yi Mo leaving the most. Pill Divine Yi How confident are you in concocting that shaking light soul pill? I only have one left. If the pill concoction fails, Feng Guang poured a cup of immortal tea and asked Yemo. Yemo fell silent for a while and suddenly said, I'm 80% confident. What? Feng Guang's hands moved. His eyes were full of fire. He suddenly regretted agreeing to Ao's request. He knew that chaos life force was needed for the pill. Yemo was this confident, meaning that he probably had chaos life force. Such treasure would definitely not be less valuable than the Chaos Green Lotus. He didn't feel surprised that Yemo had it. All the things in the universe had spirit. Chaos items had more spirit. They would usually find a pill divine who knew them the most. Yemo was the #1 pill divine of the void. Yemo sneered inside, but he said, slowly, Palace Lord don't know that the recipe is lacking some life force. This life force is chaos life force. I've only seen this in an ancient pill recipe. Ordinary people can't get chaos life force. The reason I'm saying I can successfully concoct the pills is that I have a life force that can substitute chaos life force. Hearing this, Guang Yuan Palace Lord just went on an emotional roller coaster. His emotions sunk to the bottom. After a long while, he subconsciously asked, what life force? Yemo sighed, when I was in the cultivation realm, I entered the void and got a ball of 7 colored void life force marrow. In that ancient recipe, the life force can be replaced with void life force marrow. That's why I said don't worry, Palace Lord. Guang Yuan Palace, Lord dazed. That works too. Void life force marrow was precious, but it was something from low void realm. It was no wonder Yemo was willing to use it for pill concoction. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2224 Scheme Against Yemo. Chapter 2224 Scheme Against Yemo. Can you show me the void life force marrow? Feng Guang said. Yemo shook his head. If Palace Lord studied pill Tao, you would know that it can be taken out in the void, but if I take out here, it would reduce its potency. Using the void life force marrow to concoct the shaking light soul pill has a limit. Only 1 pill will come out. I only have one of this. If it's wasted, it would be a huge loss to young Mistress Ninian. That's right. Pill divine, you decide everything. Feng Guang knew that Yemo didn't lie. Yemo got up and said, Palace Lord, I might be friends with Xiao He, but as a pill divine, I will still take what needs to be taken. Of course. How can I let pill divine ye come for free? Feng Guang quickly said. Yemo nodded. I need 50 extreme, grade God spirit range, 200 drops of 100 million year God marrow, 100 billion God crystals. I don't need anything else. Feng Guang dazed. He had never seen someone ask for this much. No matter how precious the shaking light soul pill was, it wasn't worth this much. Yemo asked more than he advertised for. Seeing Yemo stare at him, Feng Guang smiled bitterly. Even if you sell the Guang Yuan Palace, I wouldn't have that much you. I do have 30 extreme, grade God spirit range. I do have 200 drops of 100 million year God marrow. As for 100 billion God crystals, I can only get 50 billion. Yemo said without hesitation, sure, that will do. Seeing this, Feng Guang immediately said, I'll go get the shaking light herb. Please help with pill concoction, pill divine. No rush. Give me the payment first, and I have to concoct pill in Miss Ninian's room. Yemo said, Why? Feng Guang looked at Yemo with extreme confusion. Yemo said, Because the pill made with void life force marrow needs to be consumed immediately. Of course, one thing is that Miss Ninian's room has never been used for cultivation. The essence qi is very calm there. It's more suitable for pill concoction. The last sentence was bullshit. He knew that even if Feng Guang understood what he thought, he couldn't reject this. As a top formation grandmaster, he already saw that everywhere in the Guangyuan Palace was covered with surveillance formation except Nianyan's room. He planned to help Nianyan concoct pills and immediately go. Guangyuan Palace wasn't a place he liked to stay. Feng Guang fell silent for a while and said, "Okay, go to Nianyan's room for pill concoction." Nianyan saw Yi Mo come back into her room. Before she could ask, she saw her dad come in. "Pill Divine Yi, there's 2 storage ring here. One is your remuneration, and one is the pill concoction materials, including the shaking light herb I just dug." Then Feng Guang looked lovingly at Nianyan and said, "Nianyan, Pill Divine Yi is very confident. This pill needs to be concocted in your room. The pill needs to be consumed immediately, so don't worry. When Pill Divine Yi is done, you must listen to him and consume the pill immediately." Then Feng Guang looked gratefully at Yi Mo. "Pill Divine Yi, I'll leave my daughter to you." Then he paused and asked, "How long would Pill Divine you need to concoct a cauldron of shaking light soul pill?" Yi Mo thought for a moment and said, "Probably 3 to 4 hours. "Okay, I'll be waiting for Pill Divine Ye's success at the guest palace." Feng Guang said and left Nianyan's room. Seeing her dad leave, Nianyan looked at Yi Mo in shock. "Brother Yi, how could my dad let you concoct pills in here?" To her dad would never leave Yi Mo's pill concoction. Even if he did, he wouldn't let Yi Mo stay in her room, as her dad would be coming in at any time. Her dad cared about her a lot and wouldn't take Yi Mo's life force in front of her. Now that Yi Mo was in her room, her dad would need to do it in front of her, as he wanted Yi Mo's life force. Yi Mo smiled. "Your dad probably thinks I can't get away after pill concoction." Then Yi Mo set up a few restrictions on her room before continuing, "Nianyan, I'm going to concoct pills. You can sit first." "Wait, Brother Yi, I feel the most important thing for you now isn't pill concoction. Since you can come here, I feel the most important thing is for you to leave." Nianyan stopped Yi Mo and said desperately, "Don't worry, I will definitely concoct the pills for you." Yi Mo went to a corner and then set up a few restrictions and began pill concoction. Nianyan saw that Yi Mo really begun and didn't dare to talk anymore. She only hoped that when Yi Mo concocted the pills, her dad would be grateful and let him leave, despite knowing this was a very rare chance. "What do you guys want me for?" "Yi Mo is still in pill concoction. When the results come out, I will definitely take the thing over." Feng Guang hurried to where the 4 primordial essence divine emperors were. Pu Yangxi and them didn't talk. They all looked at Wendes Hui. Wendes Hui knew that he had to speak. It was his fault for realizing that Yi Mo had good things last. "Immortal friend Feng Guang, I'll be straightforward." Wendes Hui said, "We're all not dumb. I believe immortal friend Feng Guang is after something on Yi Mo, right?" Hearing this, Feng Guang asked in confusion, "What good thing?" "I invited Pill Divine Yi completely to concoct pills for my daughter." Feng Guang didn't bullshit. His number 1 goal was still to save his daughter. Of course, he would use her to get good chaos life force treasure. But even if it was some other Pill Divine, he would still be thinking the same. Zhuge Jichin smiled and got up. "We suspect Yi Mo has a chaos treasure. Of course, this is just a guess." "What?" Feng Guang said in shock. If Zhuge Jichin suspected that Yi Mo had chaos treasure, then it was pretty much certain that Yi Mo had it. Perhaps the voice life force marrow Yi Mo said was bullshit. He was using chaos life force to concoct pills. Yi Mo definitely have good intentions doing this. He wanted things from him. Since Yi Mo had chaos treasure, he must not hand over Yi Mo. As soon as Feng Guang thought of this, Zhuge Jichin asked, "Immortal friend Feng Guang, Regardless of whether your shock is real or fake, I want to ask you one thing. How well do you think you will fare against immortal friend Des Hui in a battle? Feng Guang regained his composure and smiled. Immortal friend Des Hui is the #1 primordial essence divine emperor of the Aquarius race, but I've only been in solitary cultivation. How can I match immortal friend Des Hui's great god art? When Des Hui interrupted, immortal friend Feng Guang, I'm not scared of being embarrassed. Out of the people here, I'm probably the weakest. It's fine if immortal friend Feng Guang speaks the truth. I'm no match for immortal friend Feng Guang, and everyone knows this. Feng Guang smiled but said nothing. Zhuge Zhiqin smiled. Immortal friend Feng Guang, no need to be so humble. In a real battle, immortal friend Des Hui is indeed no match for immortal friend Feng Guang. But if immortal friend Feng Guang thinks Pil Divine is a Tao Essence Divine Emperor, then you're wrong. Pil Divine is a primordial essence Divine Emperor, and he's one who's stronger than us. Hearing this, Feng Guang was completely blown away. Yi Mo was a primordial essence Divine Emperor? Since when did the human race have a primordial essence Divine Emperor? If Yi Mo was a primordial essence Divine Emperor, could he easily capture Yi Mo? When Des Hui said calmly, immortal friend Zhuge is speaking the truth. I've fought Yi Mo twice. I was no match for him both times. If I wasn't at the Dragon Palace, I might have been killed by this person already. Seeing Feng Guang look at him, Ao, she saluted with his fists. Immortal friends Des Hui and Zhuge are speaking the truth. Yi Mo is indeed a primordial essence Divine Emperor, and not an ordinary one. He was at the Dragon Palace for my primordial essence ceremony, but he escaped from the gang up of 5 primordial essence Divine Emperor. So it's impossible for immortal friend Feng Guang to subjugate Yi Mo alone. You might even be killed instead. Feng Guang's face sunk. The reason he was so generous in giving Yi Mo almost his entire fortune was because he wasn't afraid of Yi Mo escaping. However, he was certain that Zhuge and them weren't lying. Otherwise, Yi Mo wouldn't appear in the Guangyuan Palace so calmly. Feng Guang said, I almost gave all my fortune to Yi Mo for pill concoction. I can collaborate with you guys, but I will also get back my fortune other than getting a share of what Yi Mo has. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 22, 25 Heavy Battle with Primordial Essence. Chapter 22, 25 Heavy Battle with Primordial Essence. It wasn't hard to concoct the Shaking Light Soul Pill. It was only hard without Chaos Life Force. Yi Mo had Chaos Tree, so it didn't waste any effort concocting the pills. He was done in just 5 minutes. Yi Mo took 11 of the 12 pills. Nian Yan only needed 1. Brother Yi, did you fail? Nian Yan saw Yi Mo remove the restriction and got up worriedly. If Yi Mo didn't fail, how could he come out in just 5 minutes? Yi Mo took out a pill and smiled. I finished. You just need to eat this pill, and you will be completely cured. At the same time, you can start cultivation. Huh, Nian Yan called out in shock. Before she finished, Yi Mo's pill already landed in her mouth. It turned into endless life force. Nian Yan instantly felt her life force gather. Her soul became strong, and this steady feeling rose up. This was the first time she had such feeling. This was the feeling of life. This feeling was wonderful. It didn't feel ethereal like before. Nian Yan's eyes went red the instant she felt she touched her life. She knew that the pill Yi Mo gave her definitely wasn't fake. How is it? Yi Mo asked. He could clearly feel Nian Yan's change. That return of life force. Nian Yan woke up from her joy. Although she had seen through life and death, she didn't want to die if she could. Thank you, Brother Yi. Nian Yan bowed to Yi Mo. Then she said excitedly, If my dad knew that you really made the pill, he would be very happy. He would definitely treat you as an important guest, Yemo said calmly. Your dad might truly love you, but he definitely won't treat me as an important guest. Even though I made this pill, it would just be giving my life to him. Seeing Yin Yen look at him in confusion, Yemo laughed in self-mockery. Your dad probably suspects I have good things on me. He's waiting for me to finish pill concoction and so he can kill and rob me. Nian Yan was shocked for a moment, but then she sighed and didn't argue. She knew her father. He loved her a lot, but he wasn't a grateful person. After a while, she looked up and looked firmly at Yemo. Brother Yi, you saved me. Even if I use my life, I won't let anything happen to you. Yemo waved his hand. Sister Nian, the reason I was willing to concoct pills wasn't because of your dad, but because of you. You're very kind, but you can't change your dad's decisions. You know why your dad agreed to give me so much remuneration for pill concoction? It's because he thinks he can take it back. Yemo stopped her from talking and continued, the reason I chose to concoct pills in your room is so that I can leave from here. If I leave Guangyuan Palace, your dad wouldn't be able to do anything to me. If I leave from here and your dad is still going to ambush me, I won't show mercy. You're going to tear the void from here. Nian Yan instantly realized. Yemo nodded, that's right. However, your dad's cultivation method doesn't suit you. In thanks for the book you gave me, I have a cultivation method to give you. With your talent and cleverness, you can easily vindicate Tao with my cultivation method. Then Yemo placed a jade slip in Ninian's hand. We'll part our ways now. Whether or not we can meet again, I hope you can vindicate Tao soon. Then Yemo released Zisu. A purple light flashed, and the next moment, Yemo disappeared into the void crevice. Nian Yan looked dazedly at where Yemo disappeared for a long while before bowing again. Brother Yi, thank you. If Nian Yan achieves anything in the future, I will repay you. When Yemo tore open the space from Nian Yan's room, he immediately knew things were bad. The place he was at was modified. It was either a spirit-controlled region of the void or was a small world. All around him was restrictions and formations. Yemo knew he was set up by Fengguang. Fengguang knew his purpose for concocting pills in Nian Yan's room. So this guy set up this trap. Realizing his situation, Yemo was in no rush to tear open the space here. He knew that since Fengguang drew him to this region, he wouldn't be able to break free in a short while. Since Fengguang thought he had him for sure, then they would fight. Pill Divine Yi, thank you for concocting the Shaking Light Soul pill for my daughter. If you hand over your chaos item, I promise in the name of Guangyuan Palace that I won't hurt you at all. Fengguang's voice sounded. Yemo said plainly, your Guangyuan Palace name is full of shit. To me, Guangyuan Palace is just a trash ground. If I want to leave, Fengguang, you wouldn't be able to stop me. If a mortal friend Fengguang can't, then what about us as well? A voice sounded, Zhuge Jichin, and then appeared. Yemo's eyes narrowed. He knew he was set up by Fengguang. However, he wasn't worried. When he ran from the Dragon Palace, it wasn't purely because he couldn't beat them, but that if they fought, he would use all his means. He had too many means. If he couldn't kill them all, it would be exposed. The situation at the Dragon Palace determined that he couldn't kill everyone there. Since he was sealed in this space, then he would talk with power. So what if he wasn't primordial essence yet? Yemo, you killed countless of my Aquarius Divine Emperor. The Aquarius race has sent warships. The divine Tao realm is probably in ruins now, when Deshui sneered. He knew Yemo would never be able to get away. Hearing this, Yemo's eyes were bulging out. He couldn't resist anymore and hacked out with Zisu. Instantly, a twisted purple sword rune appeared in this void. This was his full-powered Falling Mark sword rune. This Falling Mark sword rune struck towards Deshui. At the same time, Yi-Mo released the lightning orbs. Seeing Yi-Mo attack so ferociously, the other four released their magic artifacts at the same time. However, no one other when Deshui attacked with full power. They knew Yi-Mo wouldn't be able to get away. Attacking with full power now was stupid. If they fought one-on-one, they would attack with full power. However, although everyone was collaborating here, they couldn't just show people their lethal blows. When Deshui had to attack with full power, he felt a powerful threat. Yi-Mo's devouring twisted sword rune already locked onto his soul before it even arrived. This wasn't the dragon race guest palace. Yi-Mo's sword rune exploded with full power. Zi-Su was stronger than even primordial spirit artifact. With this strike, no matter how strong Wen Deshui's spaceless water slice god art was, it couldn't stop the falling mark sword rune. The spaceless water slice was crushed by the falling mark sword rune. The god art space law was smashed to pieces like bubbles. Wen Deshui was on alert for Yi-Mo's spirit sense god art, but he couldn't care now. An extremely powerful water shield formed. At the same time, he felt a void appear in his sea of consciousness. He couldn't control this void. Not good. It was that spirit sense god art again. When Deshui cursed that the rest of the people didn't attack with full power, water ripples stacked up in his sea of consciousness, wanting to block this great primordial god rune spirit sense attack. Then he realized he was tricked. Yi-Mo didn't just have one great primordial god rune, it was three. The three great primordial god rune spirit sense attacks broke open the water ripples. When Deshui felt his sea of consciousness ache, and the next moment the falling mark sword rune broke open his defense magic artifact and landed on his body. Thud! When Deshui was a primordial essence divine emperor, but under Yi-Mo's terrifying strike, he didn't even take out a decent defense and was turned to nothing. Even his storage ring exploded. Countless god crystals turned to nothing. Only a truth spirit world bead was left on the side. Rumble. At the same time, for magic artifact struck Yi-Mo's 36 lightning orbs. This tore open the realm domain of the lightning orbs and Yi-Mo's own realm domain. Yi-Mo was smashed flying after spitting a mouthful of essence blood. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 22-26 Little Blue. Chapter 22-26 Little Blue. When Yi-Mo was smashed out, the other four were a bit dazed. Even Zhuge Jichin, who highly estimated Yi-Mo, completely didn't expect that Yi-Mo could kill Wen Deshui in such a short time. Everyone attack with full power. Wen Deshui is the example. Zhuge Jichin no longer had a smile on his face. At the same time, a blue light appeared in his hand. A painting scroll was subtly showed in the blue light. Yi-Mo was injured, but he could tell this scroll wasn't simple. Pu Yangxi waved his hand, and a dark barrier appeared around him. At the same time, there was a pair of demon light frost crows above his head. She released a shocking blood rain flag. Yi-Mo's spirit sense scanned and knew this was close to primordial spirit artifact. What shocked Yi-Mo was that Guang Yuan Palace Lord, whom he felt threatened the most, only released an extreme grade god artifact blue sword. The four clearly treated Yi-Mo was a powerful enemy. They sealed off all of Yi-Mo's exit. Yi-Mo didn't even have a place to run. Yi-Mo's Zi-Su and 36 lightning orbs already bursted their eyeballs out. These two magic artifacts were definitely no lower than primordial spirit artifact. Yi-Mo easily took out two primordial spirit artifact. One could see that Yi-Mo definitely had more magic artifacts. Pu Yangxi attacked first. The pair of demon light frost crows made mind-devouring shrieks and shot out 2 demon lights that sealed off Yimo's retreat. Their powerful realm domains stacked together. Yimo felt it was difficult to even breath in here, much less break free and attack one. Aoshi's eyes flashed with cruelty. The lightning blood rain flag loomed over Yimo's head. Powerful lightning rain smashed down. These lightning light rain spat out from the flag and twisted the entire void in this rain veil. This wasn't just lightning rain, it was world-destroying death beams. Yi Emo didn't wait till Fengguang to release his magic artifact. A flame suddenly burned around him. The space binding him was instantly burned away. The slowed 36 lightning orbs started to spin again. Divine flame, blue like morning sky. As soon as Yimo's flame came out, the 4 instantly recognized it. At the same time, Yimo's 7 blue suns floated in this void. Fengguang's long sword was released. The blue sword beam and the 2 demon light smashed Yimo's 36 lightning orbs away, instantly attacking Yimo's body. At this time, Yimo's Heaven Flame 9 suns was completely released. The 7 blue suns almost completely melted this region of void. Their stacked realm domain also cracked under the Heaven Flame 9 suns. Yimo's realm domain finally took some space. However, the 4 primordial essence divine emperor's clothes didn't even crack under the Heaven Flame 9 suns. The Heaven Flame 9 suns only broke their realm domain, but it didn't affect them that much. However, Yimo just wanted to break their stacked realm domain for the moment, or he wouldn't be able to counterattack. At this time, Yimo couldn't even care if he had enough god essence and spirit sense. His 5 lightning spear destruction, great primordial god rune, and Su attacked at Zhuge Jichin. To Yimo, Zhuge Jichin's magic artifact was the scariest. That mountain water painting seemed familiar. Rumble. Yimo felt a blue light instantly break open his realm domain and 36 lightning orbs. An extremely beautiful landscape appeared before him. There was an exquisite hut next to the green lake. Luoying, Qingshui were smiling at him and waiting for him to go in and reunite with them. When Yimo dazed, the bitter bamboo in the golden page world suddenly wobbled, and this clear chi spread across Yimo's sea of consciousness. Yimo shook, but at the same time, the lightning rain death beams broke open Yimo's 36 lightning orbs. Yimo's eyes showed resolution. He knew he was at a disadvantage, and it was impossible to kill Zhuge Jichin without getting hurt. He had to gamble. He gambled that Zhuge Jichin didn't know he had woken up. He gambled that his 36 lightning orbs and divine body was about to take this hit. Yimo made up his mind and smashed all his god art only at Zhuge Jichin. He ignored all the other attacks. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Crack, crack, crack. In that instant, all sorts of magic artifact exploded and flew. Blood mist flew, lightning rain, demon light, sword ray, sword chi. They entwined together, turning this region of void into a space of destruction. Fengguang's blue sword veil and Pu Yangxi's demon light struck Yimo. Even though it was blocked by Yimo's realm domain and 36 lightning orbs, it almost tore Yimo to pieces. The lightning rain tore open a shocking wound on Yimo's already broken body. Before Zhuge Jichin could rejoice, his eyes instantly widened as he looked at the Su sword ray falling in disbelief. He didn't understand how Yimo could still counterattack when he lost himself in the immortal palace landscape painting. This was a primordial spirit artifact. He still didn't understand why Yimo chose to attack him, who was at the very back when the other 3 attacked him. But this wasn't the most important. Yimo clearly was trying to take him out with his life. Zhuge Jichin was certain that if he fought Yimo alone, he would fall into such situation. Just how powerful was Yimo's spirit sense to be able to stay conscious in the landscape painting while being attacked by 3 primordial essence divine emperors. Zhuge Jichin didn't have time to think properly. The painting scroll completely expanded and smashed with Zisu. These scenes instantly disappeared. 3 great primordial god runes seeped out from the painting and attacked Zhuge Jichin. When the 3 great primordial god rune arrived, Zhuge Jichin was cut into several pieces. Yi Emo flew away heavily injured. Yi Emo sighed. He only heavily injured Zhuge Jichin. With Zhuge Jichin's power, even if he was torn to pieces, he would soon recover if his sea of consciousness and essence spirit was fine. However, he couldn't keep attacking Zhuge Jichin. His god essence was dried up now. Seeing his body being split into a few pieces, Zhuge Jichin breathed easy instead. He knew that Yi Emo wouldn't be able to attack again. It wasn't hard to recover his body. He also knew that Yi Emo wasn't scared of his landscape painting scroll. At this moment, the 7 blue suns dimmed and disappeared. No one cared. Yi Emo was heavily injured. His god essence was withered. It was normal that he couldn't control his god art. Even Zhuge Jichin didn't care. When he was recovering his body, he suddenly felt a blue light appear before him. At the same time, a blue sun smashed over. Zhuge Jichin looked at this dazedly, completely not comprehending how Yi Emo could attack him. In that instant, Zhuge Jichin was burnt to nothing. A small yellow bracelet was taken away by the blue flame and then instantly brought back to Yi Emo Little Blue. Yi Emo looked at Little Blue in surprise and joy. He really wanted to finish Zhuge Jichin off with a flame god art, but he didn't have the capability. However, Little Blue understood him and did it for him, and even took back Zhuge Jichin's belongings. Yi Emo took Little Blue with his hands. He knew now wasn't the time to talk. He ate a primordial essence, abstruse pill. He was grateful to Tang Tsongyin. Without her, he wouldn't be able to replenish his god essence. He kept 3 primordial essence abstruse pills, which would instantly recover 60% of a primordial essence divine emperor's god essence. This meant that he could attack with full power 3 more times. Yi Emo looked very terrifying right now. Bones could be seen on his chest. More than 10 blood holes passed through his chest. The most savaged was Pu Yangxi's demon light. It passed through Yi Emo's chest and went out through his back. What flowed out wasn't blood, but gray qi. It was lost life force. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 22-27 You're Too Greedy. Chapter 22-27 You're Too Greedy. Feng Guan wasn't shocked that Yi Emo killed Zhuge Jichin. He saw Yi Emo being attacked by 3 primordial essence divine emperor and didn't turn to bloody mist. He called out in shock, chaos life force, divine body. If he still didn't realize now, he would be an idiot. Not only Feng Guang, but Pu Yangxi and Ao, she realized too. They knew Yi Emo was divine body already, but now Yi Emo also had chaos life force. If Yi Emo didn't have any of those, he would have been caught already. Yi Emo received such terrifying injuries and still could recover so rapidly. The chaos life force Yi Emo had wasn't simple. Chaos tree. Almost at the same time, the 3 thought of this word. Chaos tree also had another name, the tree of life. Only the chaos tree could constantly supply Yi Emo with life force. Otherwise, how could Yi Emo stay this lively after being struck by Pu Yangxi's demon light frost crows? More than 1 primordial spirit artifact. Divine flame, chaos life force. Their eyes went red. Even primordial essence, divine emperor couldn't reject such fortune. If they got these things, who would be a match for them in the universe? He has a lot of things, we can share it out. His essence chi and spirit sense is used greatly. Let's use this opportunity to attack. Before Pu Yangxi finished, Yi Emo attacked first. Yi Emo charged at Pu Yangxi this time. He didn't even release Zisu. He just waved out a void mark with his hand. Pu Yangxi instantly felt that he was in a space that didn't belong to him nor the world. This space belonged to Yi Emo, Yimo's god art, one region. Pu Yangxi sneered and spun his overlord demon barrier. At the same time he broke free from Yimo's one region god art. An extremely ancient time Qi came. Pu Yangxi instantly froze. He felt he became younger. He saw his first love. He went back to the past where he buried the woman he loved the most personally. He swore that he would surpass samsara and not his life get controlled by the world. But now, why did he have the feeling of samsara? A samsara bridge appeared before him as though calling to him. Step on. If he stepped on, he would gain new life. Yimo's god art, samsara. Not right. Pu Yangxi suddenly woke up. He wasn't in samsara, he was fighting Yimo. His realm domain smashed out, and he broke free from Yimo's samsara. That only lasted 1 instant. How long was 1 instant? It wasn't enough to do anything. But for primordial essence, divine emperor, or Yimo, 1 instant was enough to do many things. 3 great primordial god rune and a punch. Yimo used his simplest fist god art, void. This was the first god art Yimo mastered, a god art he rarely used. However, void was the best god art for Yimo now. The great primordial god rune didn't break open the barrier, but it cracked a crevice. Pu Yangxi woke up, and Yimo's punch entered this crack. I won't go into samsara. Pu Yangxi said these words and felt his surroundings pause again. This was Yimo's time, law god, art, instant second. Pu Yangxi could no longer bear being bound by a god art. He spat a mouthful of essence blood, and suddenly black mist burned around his body. This black mist instantly turned Yimo's instant second god art into nothing. God art space demon kill. Pu Yangxi ignored Yimo's void punch and released his own law god art. Yimo's void punch suddenly paused. He felt he had sunk into a demon chi dimension. In here he was locked by the dimension and couldn't move. At least in that instant he couldn't move. Waves of demonic lethal chi brought destructive killing intent and arrived. These demonic lethal chi were going to completely tear him apart. There was a burning desperation in Yimo's eyes. If only Shadowless was here. Shadowless could devour space, but he knew that Shadowless would only devour a few space and would turn to dust. Rumble. For the first time, Aoshi's flag flew out of his hand, passing through Pu Yangxi's demon kill space and struck on Yimo's chest. It almost took away half of Yimo's chest. If Yimo wasn't divine body, his body wouldn't exploded already. Yimo sighed. He knew he failed. If Aoshi attacked half a second later, he would have a sliver of hope. But even if he was going to die, he would bring someone with him. Yimo broke free from the demon kill space. He ate the remaining 2 primordial essence, abstruse pills. The paused void punch smashed out like a flood and onto Pu Yangxi. Thud. Blood. Mist exploded. Pu Yangxi's essence spirit just escaped, but was devoured by Little Blue, who hid in Yimo's void punch. Splurge. A gray spear passed through Yimo's chest, smashing him away and nailing him to the void. A gray chi emitted from the long spear, and Yimo was nailed in the void. He couldn't move at all. Even without this spear, Yimo wouldn't be able to run from Aoshi's lightning rain flag, but with this spear, Yimo didn't even have any chance to live. God slaughter gray spear. Yimo knew this was a primordial spirit artifact. An extremely ferocious primordial spirit artifact. So this was Fengguang's magic artifact. Yimo sighed. This Fengguang really knew how to hide. If Fengguang took out this first, he wouldn't have targeted Zhuge Jichin first, but Fengguang. God, slaughter gray spear. Aoshi immediately recognized it. That's right it is. Feng Guang said, and then suddenly there was this mist beam behind Aoshi that completely enveloped him. Feng Guang, you bastard! She didn't expect Feng Guang would ambush him at this time. However, it was too late. Blood mist flew, and in essence, spirit flew out. As soon as the essence spirit came out, it was crushed to nothing by Feng Guang's powerful god essence hand. Yi Mo and the 5 primordial essence divine emperor's battle only lasted a short time. It was only a few seconds, and the battle ended. For primordial essence, divine emperors died. Yi Mo was nailed by the god's slaughter gray spear. Even though he had the chaos tree, if he couldn't break free from the spear, he would have to die. The only winner was Guang Yuan Palace, Lord Feng Guang. Seeing Yi Mo's blood being devoured by the god's slaughter gray spear, Feng Guang said plainly, "Luckily these 4 idiots came, or I really wouldn't be able to subjugate you. You're the scariest Tao Essence Divine Emperor I've ever seen. I'm certain that you haven't reached the 3rd step. If you vindicated the 3rd step of Tao, even the 5 of us combined will be crushed by your finger." Feng Guang shook his head. "But this person will be me in the future. You didn't need to die here. What a pity, you were too greedy." Feng Guang didn't attack Yi Mo immediately. He waved his hand and all the floating storage ring, truth spirit worlds, and magic artifacts flew into his hands. Yi Mo tried to struggle and immediately knew that he wouldn't be able to break free. He felt his life force dripping away. His essence blood and essence chi was devoured by the spear constantly. Yi Mo gave up struggling and said, "I really suspect if you're Nianyan's real father, you are using your daughter. I even suspect that you purposely caused her condition." Unexpectedly, Feng Guang smiled. "No matter what you doubt, you will die for certain. You won't get to know if Nianyan is my daughter. I know you're very strong, so strong that I'm scared. So I won't get close to you. I'm a very careful person. Although in time, the spear would kill you, but I've still decided to kill you, personally. I can't wait to see if you have the chaos tree." Suddenly, a scorching flame appeared in Feng Guang's hand. He stared at the flame and said, "1 god flame should be enough to turn your divine body into nothing, right?" Yi Mo suddenly laughed. "Feng Guang, I have the same thing to tell you." "What is it?" Feng Guang subconsciously asked. He had this innate fear towards Yi Mo. As soon as he asked this, he felt his entire body was covered by this destructive, killing intent. It was as though if he moved, he would turn to dust. "You're too greedy. You shouldn't have killed Aoshi first." A golden bow appeared in Yi Mo's face. On it was a golden bow and arrow. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 22-28 Sealed Void. Chapter 22-28 Sealed Void Previous Index. Next, add bookmarks before Yi Mo shot out his arrow. Feng Guang already felt that terrifying killing intent grinding away his life force. At this moment, he couldn't move. If he moved just a little, he would die to the arrow immediately. "Golden arrow of divine extermination," Feng Guang murmured. Sweat was dripping down his forehead. He didn't even remember when this last happened. When Yi Mo drew open the bow now, he knew it wasn't the same as before. The power of this bow and arrow had increased countless times. Yi Mo felt a little sad. This was the first time he used golden arrow of divine extermination after completely spirit controlling it. This might be the last time too. He felt the terrifying lethal chi. Yi Mo knew that if he shot out this arrow, he would be destroyed too. Perhaps he was already destroyed. "Pill Divine Yi, don't attack. You're nailed by the slaughter God Grey Spear. If you use your God Essence and Spirit Sense, your foundation will be ruined. You will never be able to repair it," Feng Guang stared at the arrow and said shakily. He didn't know if he could dodge this arrow, but he knew the killing intent of this arrow was too terrifying. It already went inside his bone marrow. If he had the chance again, he would never join the hunt for Yi Mo. Even if he did, he would never kill Ao Shi first. A sliver of mockery flashed across Yi Mo's eyes. He knew that he couldn't move at all, being pinned by the spear. Releasing the golden bow and arrow of divine extermination now was destroying his foundation and life force. He knew that even if he didn't move, Feng Guang wasn't going to remove the spear for him. Yi Mo was going to die, but he didn't want to die to a sly person like Feng Guang. Before Feng Guang finished, Yi Mo shot out the first golden arrow of divine extermination. A faint golden mark tore open this void. Endless destruction enveloped everything. There was no more life force nor mark in the space. The bone arrow broke away everything and swept away the world. The space that was extremely tough due to all the restrictions started to crack up like a spider web. Feng Guang's eyes spasmed. His back was drenched in sweat. The instant Yi Mo shot this arrow, he breathed easy instead. He wouldn't be scared once the arrow was shot out. As long as he blocked this arrow with full power, then, even if he was heavily injured, Yi Mo would be his. A faint red cauldron was instantly released by Feng Guang. Its grade was higher than Pu Yangxi's Overlord Demon Barrier. Rarely could people even release defense magic artifact under the fully spirit-controlled golden arrow of divine extermination. Rarely, but that didn't mean no one. Feng Guang was amongst that rarely. He instantly released the huge cauldron in front of him. Rumble. The golden arrow of divine extermination shot on the cauldron. The cauldron made whimpers, and this terrifying crack appeared all over the huge cauldron. The huge cauldron was very precious, but to Feng Guang his life was more precious than countless of these huge cauldrons. Powerful killing intent seeped from the cauldron and smashed onto Feng Guang's Dan Tian. Feng Guang spat mouthfuls of essence blood. His meridians all shattered, but he saved his life. Before he could breathe easy, he once again felt the soul invading lethal force. Feng Guang immediately realized Yi Mo had more than one golden arrow of divine extermination. Another 2 golden lights sliced across the space. Feng Guang suddenly regretted nailing Yi Mo with the spear. If he had the gray spear in his hands, he would be able to block a few arrows. He really didn't understand how Yi Mo could keep shooting the arrows. Even if Yi Mo didn't want his foundation and kept burning God essence and foundation, he wouldn't be able to keep shooting. All those who were nailed by the God Slaughter Gray spear couldn't move. Their life force and essence blood would be instantly devoured clean. Then their essence spirit would be annihilated. However, Yi Mo shot out 3 golden arrow of divine extermination. Was the chaos tree really that terrifying? A person nailed by the God Slaughter Gray spear could still gather God essence, but these weren't what he could imagine. The second arrow smashed apart his cauldron, and the third arrow carried endless destruction to his chest. Feng Guang's realm domain became weak, like a chicken egg under this bone arrow. He waved out a few space law god arts, but they could only block the arrow for an instant. The next moment, the golden arrow of divine extermination nailed him on the chest. Feng Guang spat a few more mouthfuls of essence blood. He used his hands to grab the golden arrow of divine extermination, and then he breathed slowly. He finally stopped the third arrow. It made him heavily injured. All his bones and meridians were broken, but he finally stopped it. At least his essence, spirit, wasn't injured. Yi Mo gradually felt his power leave him. Every time he gathered God essence to shoot that arrow, the terrifying power of the God Slaughter Gray spear would tear his meridians and foundation even more. Yi Mo knew he had to kill Feng Guang, even if he traded his life for it. He drew his golden arrow of divine extermination again and shot out 4 arrows at the same time. Bloody mist seeped out from Yi Mo's body. Yi Mo couldn't shoot out the 8th arrow. His hand couldn't even grab the bow and arrow anymore. The last arrow and the bow floated around like the rest of the magic artifacts in this region of space. The 4 arrows didn't shoot out at the same time, but the difference between each one was very short. The 4 arrows once again tore the void here, turning it dark gray. All life force was crushed under the 4 arrows. Feng Guang grabbed the 3rd arrow, but his eyes stared deadly at the 4 golden colors. He didn't expect Yi Mo could shoot out 4 arrows again. He also didn't understand how Yi Mo had this many golden arrows of divine extermination. His surrounding was completely sealed by the golden arrow of divine extermination. He couldn't nor dare to move. Rumble. The 4th arrow took Feng Guang flying and nailed him in the void too. The 5th arrow arrived instantly and blew his body apart. The 6th arrow annihilated Feng Guang's essence spirit, and the 7th arrow nailed Feng Guang's skull to the void. Then, this region of void became dead silent, other than magic artifact that would make everyone's eyes go red floating around. There was only the nailed skull of Feng Guang and nailed Yi Mo. There was nothing else other than destruction chi. Yi Mo's head swayed to the side. He had no sound nor chi. In this void, perhaps only Little Blue could move. Little Blue's wobbly blue flames turned into 2 hands. The 2 hands wanted to pull down the god Slaughter Gray spear from Yi Mo. However, even Yi Mo couldn't pull the god Slaughter Gray spear when he was heavily injured. Little Blue tried again and failed. The god Slaughter Gray spear was still stuck on Yi Mo's chest. It didn't even move. After countless failures, Little Blue gave up. It suddenly adhered to the spear and released a terrifying temperature. Clearly, Little Blue wanted to melt the spear. Everyone went quiet again. There was only the sound of Little Blue trying to melt the god Slaughter Gray spear. If anyone came into this space, he would be shocked by the countless treasures here. He would even wonder if he was dreaming. There were primordial spirit artifacts everywhere. Truth spirit worlds were floating. There was God Flame and even Divine Flame. Year by year passed. The god Slaughter Gray spear was gradually melted by Little Blue. Although it would only get 1 layer thinner each year, Little Blue never stopped. This region of void space was gradually sealed by dust. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. You're tuning in to the Thunder Spear YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.